Hello and welcome back to my channel. I want to start this video off by thanking every single person who has watched my videos, commented, liked my videos, subscribed to my channel, and all the people who are sharing their love and light as part of this amazing tarot community on YouTube. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy and very grateful for all of you who are here with me today. I wanted to start off by saying that, and in today's video we will be asking Spirit for some general messages, some advice, maybe just a general energy check-in on where you're at, and we will see what Spirit has to say. So with that said, feel free to pause the video, pick whichever card is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. In today's video we are asking Spirit for some advice or any messages that they have for you. I want to say a few things right off the bat. This reading, if you chose the Knight of Wands, this is your reading. What I thought was interesting was I didn't intend to take the Knight of Wands. I was just going to take 5 cards that were relevant messages for you, but the Knight of Wands came out anyway, so I did think that that was interesting. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is when I was shuffling your cards, I was picking up on an energy of the word that kept popping into my head was sage. So that could be like multiple things, like sage in the sense of like a wise person. So that might have been one of your spirit guides coming through. That could have been maybe one of your ancestors, or just a spirit guide who is with you. I was very calm, very down to earth energy, and I was smelling like a burning. It might have been sage, to be honest, or some type of incense. That I was kind of picking up on a scent of that. So that could be either the energy of one of your spirit guides or one of your ancestors coming through, maybe an ancestor who is a spirit guide for you. Or you could be burning sage or incense, or that might be something that you do frequently. So I wanted to say that off the top of the reading. And then the other thing was, I have like a few different messages here with some specific advice for you. I think it's likely that right now you are kind of in the transitional space between phases or cycles. I think that you are just about to begin a new phase or a new cycle in your life. I want to reassure you that this is going to be a period of your life when you have a lot of abundance coming in, and I think that the other thing was when I was shuffling the cards, I was feeling a lot of tightness in my chest. And then we have these 3 Pentacles cards here are all that green color associated with the heart chakra, and then this is also green. So this new cycle might involve a heart chakra expansion for you. And then we also do have the heart here on the Ace of Pentacles. So that could be, a confirmation you might be working on your heart chakra in this new phase. And I also want to say, sometimes I'll pick up on an energy and then I'll pull the tarot cards and it's like the tarot cards don't necessarily confirm that. And then I look at the oracle cards and I'm like, that explains why I'm picking up on this energy, because this is all, this is beautiful. These first 3 cards are talking about a new beginning, right? And then I think this is like an expansion on, once you start the Ace of Pentacles, this is kind of more information about what, what's going to happen next, what your spirit guides are encouraging you to focus on. But that, and that's like, if I was going to just take that straight, it's like, okay, great, you're at a new beginning of something. That's fantastic. But I was picking up on an energy that there might be some resistance on your part, or especially with the bat spirit here, you might be, again, like in the transitional space. And the way that Spirit is showing this to me is like a trapeze artist in that moment when they let go of one rung so that they can catch the next one. And it's that moment when they're suspended in the air and not holding on to anything. That's kind of what is being represented by the bat spirit here. And that, I think, might be causing some either resistance or fear to come. Like you might just be feeling nervous, and change is difficult, and it can be scary, even when we know we're ready, even when we know it's going to be beautiful and we trust that the next phase is going to work out for us. It can still be scary and difficult because, to move away from something that is familiar, even if it was not working for us or, wasn't in alignment, maybe we've changed and our energy has changed, is no longer in alignment with who we are. We know we need to move forward into the next phase. That can still be a difficult process. This Bat Spirit does talk about, it's okay to let go of the previous cycle. That might, there might be some grieving that needs to happen there. However, this is like the transitional phase before we move into the next cycle. And then we also have a full moon, which I would take as like the last part of the cycle. So, and we also have the Moth Spirit, which says surrender now, and don't let your past hold you back with the South Node. And so it's the Oracle cards here that I think are confirming for me that you might be just like a little bit scared to let go of the trapeze rung that that you need to let go of in order to catch the next one. Also, I just saw 5:55 on the timer, and then again we have 5. So it's like this period of transition, of change between cycles. And I want to reassure you that everything is going to be okay. That this whatever the new opportunity is being represented by the Ace of Pentacles here, there's advice from your spirit guides on how to handle this, but the basic message of here, especially if we're ending with the Queen of Pentacles, is everything is going to be okay. And so I want to give you that reassurance. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel uncertain. Like this is, it's card talks about temporarily being in the dark, not being able to see the bigger picture, and it's okay to feel uncertain about that. You're being protected. You're being divinely guided, and everything is going to be okay. So I want to just reiterate that right off the top in case somebody needs to hear that reassurance. The other thing that I'm picking up on before I get into the cards is when I pulled the Messenger card, the Starseed card, it does say serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. And what was interesting was when I was shuffling and pulling your cards, I was listening to, I'm filming this on February 22nd, so 2/22/22, and I was listening to a meditation about harmony and balance. And so I was initially a little bit concerned. I was like, oh, is Spirit picking up on my energy? I don't want to bring my energy into the reading because this is supposed to be advice for you. But then when I actually looked at the rest of the spread here, I realized, no, it just happens to be a coincidence. But this card that carries a message about balancing or needing to balance divine feminine and divine masculine energy. Again, to be clear, every single person on the planet has divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And, the ideal when everything is like perfectly balanced, we have a balance of a healthy divine feminine and a healthy divine masculine. However, a lot of us are not 100% balanced 100% of the time, and that's okay. But the message of this card, the Messenger card, is there might be a need to balance your divine masculine and divine feminine. What I thought was interesting is I would associate the Knight of Wands and the Fool with the divine masculine energy, because it's talking about moving forward in a bold and courageous and assertive way, with the energy of the Queen of Pentacles and some of the other Pentacles energy here, but particularly the Queen of Pentacles, which carries a message about having an abundance mindset and having faith in divine timing, being patient, and with the Surrender Now card, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who plants something, and that is a metaphor for how we invest our time and resources. This is somebody who plants something, tends to it when it needs tending, but largely just allows it to grow how and when it is going to grow, and is assured that, if I plant this and I tend to it, and the conditions are right, it's going to grow, it's going to bloom. and it's the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody has faith that their garden is going to bloom and become abundant, because it will. That's part of the message of this card, and that I would associate with the divine feminine energy. So I did think it was interesting that, you know, we have a mixture of what I would associate with a divine masculine energy and a divine feminine energy, and then we have the Starseed card, which is talking about a need to balance divine masculine and divine feminine energy. And I'll get more into the specific advice related to that when I talk about that card. But I just wanted to say off the bat, I think those are the basic messages and like themes, I guess, for what Spirit wants to talk about today for you, pile 1. So if neither of those messages are resonating for you, I would say this is probably not your pile. But if you are resonating with those messages, then let us move forward into the cards. So again, I did think it was interesting that we're starting with the Knight of Wands. It came out on its own. You know, I shuffled it back into the deck and it came out. So definitely this is an intended message for you today. And I also thought it was interesting, there's a connection between the reason why in the introduction I laid out the knights of the different suits is because knights are messengers, and we're doing a video about messages from Spirit. So, you know, I thought that was kind of like a cute connection there. But we also have the Messenger Starseed card. So this might be Spirit's way of saying that they've been trying to get in touch with you, or not. You know, it could just be that it's like just a coincidence that these cards came out. But there could be a message here that your spirit guides have been trying to reassure you and let you know that everything's going to be okay. They might also be sending you signs and symbols that it's time to move into the next phase. If you've been with the Bat Spirit energy, if you've been nervous to let go of the old in order to embrace the new, if you've been nervous about taking that next step forward with the Fool card, if you've been nervous to invest in whatever this Ace of Pentacles is talking about, it's okay to be nervous, but the Knight of Wands and the Fool, the fact that we both of these cards right here is telling me that you are definitely being encouraged to, even though you might be feeling nervous and scared, there's like a fear of the unknown that is kind of coming up here for me. It's okay to feel that way. It's important to move forward anyway. You're being reassured that this next cycle is going to be very abundant for you. There's nothing to worry about here. I'm not seeing any messages that would cause me to believe that you have anything to worry about in this next cycle. I think you're just being encouraged by Spirit to go for it, to let go of the trapeze rung and reach for the next one. And whatever time you spend in the air in between in that transitional period, it's scary, but there's also a thrill to it. You know, there's also excitement to it, and that's one of the messages of the Knight of Wands, is embracing the excitement of the new and moving forward with courage, because every new beginning is an adventure, you know. And so if that is helpful, there might be a message here to try to reframe. I know it can be hard, but to try to maybe reframe this next cycle, whatever you're being encouraged to move towards, as an adventure. And I want to say the Knight of Wands and the Fool both carry messages about a calculated risk. And like needing to make a leap of faith. So that's again another reason why I think I'm giving the metaphor of like a trapeze artist. Like there's an element of faith to it. And we also have Surrender Now, which talks to me about faith. There's more messages here with this card that I'll talk about later, but you know, surrender. It's like surrendering to the divine, surrendering to the idea that part of you, or you, it might just be unconsciously, it might be fully consciously, you might be aware that it's time to move forward. You might have a solid idea of what this Ace of Pentacles is talking about. You might have like a new opportunity that has presented itself to you in your life. Maybe there was a new job offer, or you've had an idea for a creative pursuit, or there's just something that you might know that you have an opportunity to move towards, and you're being asked to take that leap of faith here. Because the Knight of Wands is not somebody who takes reckless risks. Like if either of these cards had come out reversed, I might be giving a different interpretation, but they're both upright, and I would take that as reassurance from your spirit guides that taking that leap of faith towards whatever this Ace of Pentacles is going to pay off for you. This is not a reckless decision that you're making, especially because this is the Ace of Pentacles, and Pentacles is not a reckless or chaotic energy. It's a very kind of methodical, practical energy. So what I'm hearing from this is that it's just there's nothing to worry about. It makes sense if you are feeling nervous. And it's okay to feel nervous, you know. Both of these cards talk about bravery and courage, and you know, and bravery requires fear. You know, bravery is about facing your fear, right? And so again, like there's a reassurance. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be afraid, especially if you're in this bat energy right now, bat spirit energy right now, where you're kind of like temporarily in the dark. You can't really see what the bigger picture is. You might not be able to see the next trapeze rung. You know, you're being encouraged by your spirit guides that it is there, and to reach for it anyway. With the faith that that rung is going to be there to catch you. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with the first two cards here, the Knight of Wands and the Fool. The Fool is also, I would say, if they're with the Bat Spirit does talk about needing to let go or leave things behind. The Moth Spirit has a very particular message, again, that I'll get into, but it does talk about attachments and the need to kind of like surrender attachments. If I'm going to be honest, there are two cards in the tarot that I'm surprised didn't come out based on the Oracle cards here. However, I think this, you know, there are messages here that Spirit also wanted you to have, but I'm surprised we don't have the Temperance card, and I'm surprised we don't have the Devil card, because they would be very associated with what I'm seeing in the Oracle cards here. But, and I'm sorry if I'm going off on tangents. It's just there's a lot to talk about here. So, but with the Fool card, the Fool is a very carefree energy. It's unburdened. It's like whatever's in this bindle is whatever is going to benefit this flamingo in the next phase, and they've left everything else behind. Everything that they don't need, everything that's not in alignment, all the extra baggage, they've left that behind, and they're just like happily moving into whatever the next phase is. And so I think you're being encouraged. If you're still in this energy of needing to let go of something, or even if there's stuff that you might not 100% be like fully aware that you are clinging to about the past cycle, even just because it's familiar, you know, even though you might be aware that it's no longer in alignment with your energy, or it's not serving you, it's not something that you need to bring into the next cycle, you're being encouraged to let go of it, leave it behind, embrace the energy of the Knight of Wands of excitement and adventure. And then we can move on to the Ace of Pentacles, which is the beginning of the next cycle. The Ace of Pentacles talks to me about an opportunity to invest. It talks about, and like invest, that can mean, lots of Pentacles energy, that can mean money. It can mean financial abundance, generating wealth, making a lot of money, having a new job offer could be associated with the Ace of Pentacles, or starting a new career, starting a new venture, starting a project, starting, you know, the Pentacle suit is very connected to career and money. However, it's not always the case, like that, you know, if that's not resonating for you, if you don't want to start a new career, you're not at the beginning of a new project, this can also just talk about the things that we choose to invest our time and resources into, and that can include like energetic resources. And a lot of these cards, like the Four of Pentacles and particularly the Queen of Pentacles, carry a message about investing in ourselves in terms of like self-care. The Four of Pentacles in particular carries a message in like a spiritual reading that you're being given permission to take care of your like to prioritize your time and energy and resources. You know, it's okay to be, you know, quote unquote selfish. You know, like that there's a difference between like being selfish because you don't care about other people and being self-focused because you're prioritizing your own self-care. You know, and so like I don't want to call it selfish because there's no shame or guilt attached to it, and there shouldn't be. But it's like this card can say you're being encouraged to invest in yourself, and it's going to pay off. It's going to give you a sense of security and stability with the four here. And the Queen of Pentacles is a card that represents abundance. So it's like by investing your energy, time, resources, potentially money if you are starting a new project or a new venture. By investing and committing to that, to yourself, to whatever this Ace of Pentacles is representing, you are going to give yourself a newfound sense of stability and security with the Four of Pentacles. And this also talks about like giving yourself the time and resources and like permission to enjoy the things that that you have worked hard for. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And again, this is like a symbol of material abundance. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is practical, down to earth, takes great care of themselves, is nurturing to other people, has faith that the things that they put their time and energy into are going to pay off for them, has faith in divine timing, and enjoys the comfort and stability of having created security for themselves. So if you're at a time in your place, especially with the bat spirit here, and honestly with the moth spirit too, if you're feeling a little bit insecure, again, if you're in this transitional phase between cycles in your life where you know you're leaving the old familiar thing behind, but you don't know what's next, this is reassurance for me. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to work out fine. Whatever you're investing in, the Ace of Pentacles is going to pay off, and you're going to have that security that you might be lacking right now. So this is like reassurance. There's nothing to worry about. You're going to have your abundance. It's going to come in, whatever that means for you. Like even if we're not talking about money or like a career success, like whatever these pentacles represent for you, whatever you're committing to, you're committing your time, energy, and resources into right now. Even if it's self-care, it might be talking about investing in yourself in terms of like having a good routine, like finding a balance in between, like a work-life balance. It can talk about having a great sleep schedule, eating nutritious food, whatever that means for you, doing exercise, because, you know, moving our bodies is healthy, you know, whatever that means for you. It's like balancing all that stuff and prioritizing that self-care. If that, you know, if the message of like a new career or whatever isn't resonating for you, if it is a new career or a new project or a new whatever, if it has to do with finances or career, what I'm seeing is it's going to be a great success, and you're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's going to pay off in a way that, you know, the Queen of Wands is very sensual and she likes to enjoy the finer things in life. So again, I'm just getting a lot of messages. There's nothing to worry about here. Once you reach out and to the next trapeze rung and you embrace the energy, the Ace of Pentacles, whatever you're investing in, whatever you're committing to, whatever this new cycle represents for you, there's nothing to worry about. And it's just going to require courage and a faith and perhaps a focus on having like an adventurer's mindset. Because you're not going to be in the dark forever, and whatever's coming next is going to be a period of your life that is very abundant. So that's what I'm seeing in the tarot cards. Now, I'm going to start with the Starseed card, and then I think these two cards are very connected. These two cards are very connected, and there is kind of like an overall message. But I think that this Messenger card, again, I was talking about a balance between divine feminine and divine masculine is very much associated with this card. I also want to say I think that this figure is like a stylized angel. They have like a halo, they're wearing white robes, and this I think is like a glacier cliff, but they look like wings. So with that, I think that this is a message that first of all, that I think you are being divinely protected. I think that you are being divinely guided. And, you know, if you have ever questioned that you have a guardian angel or that there are angels who are looking out for you, I would take this as a confirmation that there are. You have angels in your life who are looking out for you. If that message resonates for you. And the other reason why I wanted to mention the fact that this looks like an angel to me is that, again, I mentioned that I wouldn't have been surprised if the Temperance card came out with the energies here, because the Temperance card, typically it does have an angel on it in a lot of tarot decks, and it also talks about a need for balance. And it's also associated with Sagittarius, which I could see an association there with the Knight of Wands. But I just wanted to mention that because, again, there's an emphasis on balance with this card. However, this card does carry a specific message about a need to balance divine masculine and divine feminine energy. And again, I was seeing like it's interesting that, you know, I would associate this half with the divine masculine and this half with the divine feminine. It's like you need to move forward and take that next step, be assertive. You know, you know that you deserve all this good stuff, the beautiful stuff that's going to happen in this next part. However, you need to take that step. You need to take that leap. You need to let go of the previous rung and reach toward the next one. Sorry, I knocked the camera. You know, like that. There's some forward action. There's some assertion or step that needs to happen here, and it has to come from you, and it's coming from a place of knowing that you deserve it and that you're going to take. It's like it's a way to honor yourself and take care of yourself and not abandon yourself by moving forward into the next. I'm not saying that you are doing that, but I'm just saying like that's kind of why I would associate it with a divine masculine energy. And then we have the divine feminine, which I already talked about, why I would associate with that with the Queen of Pentacles in particular, about that message of having faith that the things that you are investing in, it's gonna grow. If you nurture it and take care of it, it's going to blossom and bloom and be abundant. And that's you know, and that the universe is abundant. It's like having an abundant mindset along with having faith that the things that we put our energy into are going to work out for us. To kind of put it that way, like the universe has your back. There's certain steps that you need to take and are being encouraged to take in order to get to this Ace of Pentacles, make it happen for yourself, and then you're being encouraged to kind of step back with the faith and knowledge that the universe wants to co-create with you, and that again, like you are being divinely guided and divinely led, and things will happen in divine timing. You know, the Queen of Pentacles is their beautiful garden that this queen has cultivated did not grow overnight. So I just wanted to say, like, I think that's the reason this card is here. It's like there's a kind of a balancing energy here, and I think that there's also like a moderation kind of message that I would associate here, which again could be part of the message of the Queen of Pentacles, is finding a balance between all the different things in your life and like creating a healthy routine, whatever that means for you. And part of that is moderation, like not doing too much of any one thing, and investing kind of time and energy and resources equally throughout the different aspects of what it means for you to take care of yourself. Like very, very balanced and moderation focused, which is definitely another message of the moth spirit. Like there's a need for that. There's a need to balance divine masculine and divine feminine energy, being assertive, going after the things that you want, being action oriented, and then also being nurturing, heart focused, having faith that the things that you have stepped towards are going to come towards you. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to move into these cards because I want to talk about this first, and then there's a particular message here that I think is really important. But I'm going to start over here. I know I've already kind of talked about the Bat Spirit. It says a rebirth is assured, and it's the number 5, which in numerology is connected with change and transformation. And this card does talk about specifically that period in time when we are transitioning from one cycle to the next, and it's usually you know, a little bit nerve-wracking because again, it's like we're leaving something familiar behind, even though we know that that's like it's necessary. You know, we've gone through it. Like the rebirth is assured. Like we're already in the process of doing it. You know, we've already made that decision. It can be scary to leave the familiar thing behind to move towards something that is a kind of an unknown. You know, it's like we don't know how it's going to work out. We don't know if it's going to pay off. It is a leap of faith, and we're currently in the dark about it. Like that's one of the messages of like a bat spirit. They're in a dark cave, you know, you know, and so it's like being temporarily in a place where you cannot see the bigger picture. And I think that's why we have look at the bigger picture here. But this card does talk. It does specifically talk about that the dark part is not going to last forever. You will step back out into the light. Like a rebirth is assured, and you're being reassured by your spirit guides that everything is going to work out okay, that this change was necessary, and that you're being asked to have faith. Again, Queen of Pentacles, have faith that, and the Fool associated with having faith that it's safe to move forward. Even though you might not be able to see the reasons why things have happened a certain way, or the reasons, like even if this transition has been really difficult and it's hard to see even if you were like, I don't know why I had to leave this thing behind to move towards this next thing, maybe it was like a painful and scary transition, you might not be able to see how all the pieces fit together. There's an assurance with this card that Spirit has a plan, and that your spirit guides can see the bigger picture, and that I think your higher self can see the way things fit together, so that when you emerge from the temporarily being in the dark, it will become clear why you went through this transition, why you needed to have the courage and faith to move towards this thing. Even if there are bumps in the road, even if there are obstacles, even if there are parts that don't work out amazingly immediately, you're going to have a much better understanding of why things are happening the way they are, and why you needed to go through this period of fear or confusion, or just nervousness about moving into the next thing. Why, you had to be kind of suspended in the air for that amount of time between trapeze rungs. Why that part of it was a necessary part. It will become clear. That's one of the messages of this card, and that's why I thought it was really interesting that we also had look at the bigger picture with the Full Moon in Sagittarius. Because I think it's here for two reasons. First of all, I think this is reassurance that, there is a bigger picture here. There's a bigger plan here. There's, and that you are being divinely protected and divinely guided. Your spirit guides can see the bigger picture. Your higher self can see the bigger picture, even though you might currently be temporarily in the dark about how it's going to work out. It is going to work out in your favor. There's a reason why things are happening this way. There's a reason why you're being encouraged to move forward towards whatever this Ace of Pentacles is representing. And it's bow and arrow, shoot your shot, take the chance on whatever this is, because Spirit knows that there's a bigger picture here, even though you might not be able to see what that is right now. Then there's another message with this card. You might be being encouraged to let go, because again, it's a full moon. So the full moons in this deck usually talk to me about the end of a cycle, and we have all this new beginning energy here, and then the transformative energy of the 5. I think this might be a message. There might still be some things that you're kind of holding on to or clinging to just because they're familiar. You may or may not be fully conscious that you are doing that, but I think you're being encouraged to just take an honest look, do some soul searching, try to figure out if there are things that you are still holding on to from the previous cycle, because I think your spirit guides are encouraging you. You only need whatever's in that bindle. You don't need anything else. You don't need to bring anything else with you. It's going to be okay. It's okay to take that leap of faith. It's okay to leave things behind, even if they are familiar, even if they are comforting, and to be in that energy of the bat spirit, because it's only temporary. It will not be scary forever. It will not be unfamiliar forever. And it's important to invest in yourself so that you can move forward into this period of stability and abundance that is coming in for you. So I wanted to say that. And then, I intended this to be a shorter video because it's only one spread, but it looks like it's going to be a longer one, and that's okay. I'm very happy to be able to share these messages with you. Because I think they're very important. And then we have the Moth Spirit. I think this card is very important. It's very important that it came out. I've never seen this card before. I love it. I love the design on it. It does say surrender now. And this card coming out was one of the reasons why I was surprised that we didn't see the Devil card in the tarot. However, I do think your spirit guides wanted to give you the messages here in the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So I think that's why we didn't see those cards. The Moth Spirit, I'm just gonna be honest. The Moth Spirit does talk about addiction, and there's a lot of in the guidebook. There's a lot of language connected to this card about addiction and addiction recovery. If that's something that applies to you, that this might be like a a literal message to surrender. Like surrender, that's a huge part in the 12-step community. That's like a huge part of addiction recovery, is surrendering to the idea that we are not in control of whatever thing we're using in an addictive way. Like for me, being a recovering alcoholic, I'm not in control of alcohol. I cannot control my alcohol use. And so for me, part of surrendering is saying, okay, because I can't control it, I'm just going to surrender it. I'm not even going to try. I don't have to have alcohol in my life, and I can't control it. I'm going to surrender to the idea that I could control my alcohol use, because I can't. I'm an alcoholic, So it's like that. This card can carry that specific message. If that is something that applies to you, then this new cycle, this new phase might be about addiction recovery. If that applies to you, only take it if it applies to you. That's a very specific message for anybody who might need to hear that. And what I'm hearing here is when you invest in yourself, it's going to pay off immensely. You're going to have a newfound sense of safety and security, and you're going to enter a new phase in your life where you are in a very abundant place. So I want to say it's going to require courage. It's going to require having a sense of adventure, and is 100% worth it. And I'm saying that both from my own experience and from what I'm seeing in the cards here. So if that message applies to you, I wanted to bring it up because that is something I'm seeing with the Moth Spirit. If that doesn't apply to you and you're like, I'm not addicted to anything, I'm not an addictive person, that's not me, then this card can also talk about a need for moderation and balance. So again, this whole reading today it's all about balance. It's about, having faith, taking that step forward, embracing the time in between cycles, as change can be scary. Leaving familiar things behind can be scary. However, we can still be excited for the new thing and have faith that it's going to work out. And then the rest of the messages here are all about balance. Balancing divine masculine and divine feminine, balancing self-care with, taking a calculated risk towards something new, balancing, the different aspects of our life so that we can engage in self-care, whatever that means for you. This card usually carries a message that you are not currently doing that. And that's why, I think it's so important. It's like surrender now. It's not like you might want to consider surrendering. This is like a command almost. It's like surrender now, because it's something that I think you might, and again, just take this however it resonates for you. You might be engaging in escapism or unhealthy behaviors or whatever you're doing. You will know if and how this card applies to you. If you're putting too much energy into any one aspect of your life, into any one activity, if it talks about workaholism, it talks about perfectionism, it talks about, again, investing all of your time and resources into one thing, when what you're being asked to do is work on moderation, and work on moderation as a form of self-care. And so I want to say, if this is a substance abuse addiction thing, again, you will know how and if this card applies to your situation. I'm not going to tell you how it applies to you, or even if it does. If you're resonating with a substance abuse message, then I would say you might be being encouraged to surrender and walk away from whatever the substance is completely, and try to achieve abstinence. However, if that doesn't apply to you, if you're resonating more with the perfectionism, workaholism, escapism, whatever you're putting most of your time and energy into, if you have something in your life that is really difficult for you to moderate, or that you're putting an imbalanced amount of time and energy into, you're being asked to be very honest with yourself about that. And whatever you need to do about that, whether that is walking away from that behavior, walking away from that substance, however that applies to you, or if that means working on things like moderation, setting a timer and saying, I'm only doing this thing for 1 hour today, I'm only doing this thing for 10 minutes today, however that applies to you, this is asking you to take an honest look at any addictive behaviors, escapist behaviors that you have in your life, and surrender that stuff, because you're being asked to focus on moderation. And you know, the Ace of Pentacles, like Pentacles, is very much about commitment and hard work. However, it's also about practicality, you know, and taking things one day at a time, one step at a time, one piece at a time, instead of pouring all of our time and energy into something and then burning out. So again, like, I just thought that this was a very important message that somebody watching this video might need to hear. However, it doesn't need to be that dramatic. You know, it could be a much kind of lighter message about, you know, maybe there's something maybe related to this what I was talking about with the bat spirit and the full moon in Sagittarius, about like there might just be something you're holding on to. Like this card talks about attachments. Again, there's one of the reasons why I wouldn't have been surprised to see the Devil card in your spread. Like if there's something you're still attached to, or some behavior you know you're engaging in that might be preventing you from moving forward into this next phase, whatever it is, you're being asked to surrender it and let go of it, because your spirit guides don't want you to let your past hold you back. That's another reason why I was giving that kind of interpretation with a look at the bigger picture, to let go of whatever you need to let go of, to take this leap of faith into the next phase, the next cycle, with the reassurance that things are going to be okay, and you're moving into a part of your life where you will have abundance and stability. If that is not something that you have right now, the 4 is a very stable energy and it's balanced. So, again, like all these messages about balance, about moderation, about letting go of the things that you need to let go of so that you can move forward into the next thing with bravery and courage. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel sad about leaving things behind that are familiar and safe. However, you're being encouraged to do it anyway, because your spirit guides don't want you to hold yourself back from this beautiful, abundant new cycle that's coming in for you. So that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you today, pile 1. I hope that this reading has been helpful for you. If you did like it, feel free to give the video a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how and if it did resonate for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching pile 1, and I hope to see you in my next video. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. Today we are asking Spirit for any messages or advice that they have. I do want to say a few things right off the bat. First of all, this happened for pile 1 as well. They chose the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands was the first card that came out of the deck for them. You guys chose the Knight of Pentacles, and that came out at the end of your reading. And when that card came out, I literally out loud said, "You've got to be kidding me." But there it is. So I guess there's a reason you felt called to the Knight of Pentacles today. So I wanted to say that right off the bat, just because I thought it was funny. And then the other thing I want to say is, I'm definitely getting like a really strong spiritual energy from this group. We have the High Priestess here. We have this Earth pulsing energy. Both of these Spirit Animal Oracle cards, very spiritual. And I'm getting the sense that, just as like a basic overview, the 4 of Wands and 9 of Cups, either they're coming in for you very soon, and I'm going to repeat one of my favorite tarot readers. I heard just around the river bend. I watch Lexi the Leo. I think she's a fantastic tarot reader. She knows what she's talking about. I love her videos. She has such like an amazing, compassionate energy. I think I found all of her readings to be very accurate for me. I can only speak for myself, but I think she's a very accurate reader. I love her channel. If you don't know who she is, please go check her out. She's amazing. But in a bunch of her readings, she's mentioned the Pocahontas song, Just Around the River Bend. And I heard that when I was saying, like, the 4 of Wands and 9 of Cups coming in for you. Either you are in this energy right now, in which case Spirit's just like, say, it's amazing. Like give yourself time to enjoy it and celebrate it because you've earned it. And or it's right around the river bend. It's like it's coming in for you very, very soon. We have prosperity lies ahead. We have luck is on your side. Just a beautiful energy here, beautiful messages. And I am taking reversals in this reading, and all your cards are upright. It's just like such a beautiful, hopeful message. It's Spirit giving you a pat in the back, saying please take time to give yourself a pat on the back for all the hard work you've been doing. I think, and again, this is something that Lexi says, but I think you guys are my spiritual group. You're my spiritual pile. Because what I'm thinking is the High Priestess here is like a recognition from Spirit that you've been working hard on, I think, your spirituality lately and spiritual practice. And I think that is Spirit saying, this stuff's coming in for you. This is your energy. And this stuff's coming in because you've been working on this, like on a spiritual level. I'm seeing spiritual releasing and a focus on wellness, balance, and self-care. The Knight of Pentacles, and just like with like a one day at a time kind of mindset, which is fantastic. So I wanted to say that right off the bat. So I do want to say the message that I'm going to be giving today is going to be under the assumption that you have been working hard on your spirituality. I'm getting the sense you are very, very spiritual. Like there's lots of confirmations here. You're very spiritually connected. You're very connected with Spirit. And you might be working on things like manifestations, affirmations, intention setting, and just like a deepening your connection to the spiritual. You might work with tarot cards. You might meditate a lot, work on your chakra balance. You might be very into yoga, like just anything and everything under the spirituality umbrella is what I'm seeing here and what I would associate with the High Priestess. I want to say anytime that I see a moon on a tarot card that is not literally the moon card, I usually take that as confirmation that your spirit guides are with you. We have a moon on the High Priestess. That makes sense. I think this is supposed to be like a day-night split, which is interesting because I think these two cards are related. I think those two cards are related. And the High Priestess is in the middle. But there's a moon on this card. There's a moon on the Eight of Cups. There are a couple of moons on the Nine of Cups. I would take that again as confirmation that your spirit guides are with you. You are very spiritually connected. I would say whether you realize it or not, but I am getting the sense that for the majority of you, you are highly spiritual and you do cultivate a spiritual practice and like actively work to deepen your connection to Spirit. If you're not doing that, then you're definitely being encouraged to do it. And it's like you just are innately very connected with Spirit. Your spirit guides are always with you. And that's a message that's coming through. If you feel like this isn't resonating for you at all and you're not very spiritual and you don't know what I'm talking about, then that might be a sign that maybe this is not your pile. But it might be, this might just be maybe for the majority of you, you are very spirituality focused. And for some of you, it may just be you have an innate connection to Spirit. You might be very intuitive, get a lot of gut feelings about things, see a lot of signs and synchronicities, whether or not you would recognize them as that. The appearance of the High Priestess in the middle of the reading is I would take as confirmation that if you are seeing signs, symbols, synchronicities, then I would take that as confirmation that that is Spirit trying to communicate with you. Take that however it resonates. I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way at the top of the reading because definitely picking up that this is like a very spiritual group of people here. And the great news is that you have amazing blessings coming in. Spirit's recognizing the hard work that you've been putting in. There is some advice for you down here, but it's nothing so serious. Like this is, I'm just getting the sense of like even this High Priestess is like winking at us. Like there's nothing to worry about. There's all this beautiful energy. Spirit wants you to enjoy it. Enjoy the things that you've worked hard for. And they're commending you for the hard work that you have put in. And I also want to say my viewfinder is like really trying very hard to focus on the bull on this New Moon in Taurus card, which says prosperity lies ahead. So I think that this card, they really want you to know that if there's Four of Wands, Nine of Cups, I'll get into the cards in a second, but if this, when I do talk about it, if that's not something that has happened for you yet, or you don't feel like you're there just yet, don't worry, prosperity lies ahead. It's coming very, very soon. We have 2 new moons here. You're like either, I think, in this energy right now, or it's coming. It's so close. It's so close. Your luck is on your side. Prosperity lies ahead. These 2 spirit animal cards are very spiritual. You're very connected. You might be and feel very connected with nature. Either way, definitely getting the sense that this is a group that is very highly spiritually gifted. So I wanted to say that at the top of the reading. I said this with pile 1, and I'm going to say it again. I'm getting the sense that I had intended for this to be a shorter video, and it's just the Spirit has a lot to say today, and that's great. I'm happy to be able to share these messages with you. So we're going to start with the 4 of Wands, and I am connecting these 2 cards just because it's a very happy energy here. This is very positive. The 4 of Wands, you know, you can see this turtle is just kind of like chilling, like they're relaxed. Like this 4 of Wands, when it comes up in like a spirituality-based reading, can talk about like the feeling of coming home to something that is familiar and something that is warm and safe and ours, and it's coming home to beloved family members and friends, and just that like amazing feeling of safety and security. And the 4 of Wands also talks about milestones, so this can talk about things like when we've bought a new house, that was like the perfect thing that we wanted, or starting a new career, or achieving a career milestone like a promotion, or you know, getting the position that we wanted, or just even discovering what career works best for you. Like it can talk about that kind of thing. Like there's something to celebrate here. 4 of Wands about celebration, and there's also a feeling of like familiarity, safety, coming home. And when this comes up in a reading like this card can be a message from your spirit guides that they want you to take time to enjoy it. And you know, you've worked hard for whatever. This can talk about when our manifestations come in, especially in combination with the 9 of Cups, which is the card about wish fulfillment. Right? So it's like, take the time to enjoy, be like this turtle on this card. You know, there can also be a message that it might be reflected with the earth pulsing card here, about reconnecting with nature, working on, and there's this octopus meditating, working on mindfulness, being in the present moment, just allowing yourself to feel joyful, present, and grateful. And grateful, obviously, of course, to the universe, and you know, and the circumstances that allowed this beautiful period of your life to happen, and also being grateful to yourself for having put in the hard work to get to where you are. And like honestly, it's like this is like Spirit saying like enjoy it, give yourself the pat on the back, relax. Like you're safe and secure. You've achieved something here, and it's not only okay, it's encouraged to take time to celebrate. Whatever this card is talking about, whatever it means for you, whatever prosperity is coming in for you that is being represented here by the 4 of Wands. And again, that can represent, you know, whatever your wish fulfillment is. If that's a new relationship or a new level of commitment in your relationship, that can talk about, again, like buying a house, settling down somewhere. You can talk about getting the job that you wanted. Whatever it is, the fact that this is, I guess I could take the 9 of Cups even as like a clarifier for this 4 of Wands. Whatever you wanted, the 4 of Wands is saying it's coming. It's coming. Either you're there already, in which case you're being encouraged to enjoy it, or it's right around the river bend. It's coming. It's like right around the corner, and when it does happen, you are being encouraged to enjoy it because you've earned it. With the 9 of Cups, the card, like usually the basic message of that card is wish fulfillment. It is a Cups card, and Cups is related to emotions and relationships. And the 9 is, in numerology, is like the end of a cycle. You know, it's like we're at the 9, and the 9 is like it's like fulfillment. You know, it's getting to enjoy whatever our desire was, whatever our wish was, whatever we really like in our heart, on whatever our heart's desire was. I don't know why I'm having trouble getting that out. Enjoying the fulfillment of our heart's desire, I guess, is kind of what I'm seeing here. It's not necessarily as dramatic as heart's desire, like your one desire in the world. It's just that if you were really wanting something, really wishing for something on like an emotional level, the Nine of Cups here is saying you're gonna get it. It's coming. It's coming. Either you are already there, in which case, like, really, this is just another way for Spirit to say, enjoy it because you've earned it. You deserve it. You know, you do it. You deserve it. You've put the work in, and you deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor, whatever that means for you. And again, if you're not there yet, this is just like a positive message from your spirit guides saying, again, don't worry, it's coming. Luck is on your side. Prosperity lies ahead. And it's like, again, I'm almost seeing like this is representing you. This is what's coming. This is what you've been working on. And it's like this is maybe your energy, and it's really attracting this. So I wanted to say that. High Priestess definitely is what I was saying at the top of the reading. That's why I brought it up first, because I think this is a very important card, and it's important that it's in the middle here. And this is just telling me, like, when it comes out in this type of reading, again, it can be a confirmation that if you have been seeing signs, synchronicities, if you have a particular spirit animal that you keep seeing a lot of, or if like like numbers, you keep seeing angel numbers and things like that, I would take this as confirmation that is your spirit guides sending you messages, sending you spiritual messengers. And then another message of this card is that whatever spiritual work you're doing, again, whether it's like manifestations, intention setting, doing affirmations, communicating with spirit, doing tarot card readings, like literally whatever you're doing to deepen your connection with the spiritual world and your own sense of spirituality. This is Spirit's way of saying it's working. It's working. It's deepening your connection to Spirit is a positive, beautiful thing, and they want you to keep doing it. And if you are somebody who is not very spiritual, or you don't practice your spirituality very much, then this might be saying you're very innately connected to Spirit. Your spirit guides are with you, whether you've reached out to them or not. And they might be asking you, if, just take this however it resonates. They might be asking you, if you haven't been cultivating a spiritual practice, that you might want to put some more energy towards doing that. Just because your spirit guides are always with you and they want to help you, and they are helping you. That's a message of both of these spirit animal cards, is that your spirit guides are helping you. Whether you're like actively trying to work with them or not, they are helping you regardless. So I wanted to say that about the High Priestess. Definitely a confirmation for me here that you are very spiritually connected, whether that's something you are cultivating or not. Then we have the Eight of Cups. And when I saw it, I want to say these 4 cards came out together, all in one pile of 4 cards. And then what's funny is I did get the sense that Spirit was like, we don't need any other cards. Like, these 4 cards are just take these 4 cards. And I kept saying I need 5 cards because pile 1 got 5 cards. I want the piles to be fair. That's just something that I like. Every once in a while someone gets an extra card, it's fine, but I like to be fair in my readings. And then I think it's funny that it might even have been maybe like your spirit guides or my spirit guides might have been like, let's just give her the Knight of Pentacles. because that was the energy for this group when you selected the Knight of Pentacles. So I thought I wanted to say that because I thought it was funny. But I do think this is part of your energy, especially because I would connect the Knight of Pentacles with the New Moon in Taurus. So I want to say that. The Eight of Cups is a card that talks about walking away or letting go of things that are no longer serving you. So it's like recognizing that there are certain things that we need to let go of. And this card also acknowledges that it can be difficult and sad to have to do that, to have to let go of things, especially things that are familiar, have a lot of sentimental value. you know, and that can include even relationships with loved ones. If the relationship has become unhealthy, or if that person's energy is not in alignment, like if anymore, like if you've been doing spiritual growth and spiritual development, and really like working on raising your vibration, and the people around you have not been doing that spiritual work, there could be people in relationships you've had to decide to walk away from because they were no longer in alignment with your energy, and it was not healthy to be around that person's energy anymore for whatever reason. And this, I think, is if you've been doing that, this could talk about spiritual releasing, the High Priestess and the Eight of Cups, like releasing things on a spiritual level. And it can also talk like on a more practical level about, again, like walking away from certain relationships, letting go of old habits. And I feel like I went on a tangent and lost my original train of thought, but that's okay. The Eight of Cups, yes, it can talk about like releasing old habits, or like lifestyle thing, like on a more practical level, like making lifestyle changes because we recognize that certain things that we were doing were no longer serving us. But because it's a Cups card, which can be tied to like emotions and relationships, and like our feelings and stuff, it can also a lot of the time be talking about releasing things on a spiritual level. So I wanted to say that. And then I think there is a connection between the Eight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles here, because for the record, even what I said about the way that the cards came out, the Knight of Pentacles is here because this is a message for you. This was not just a random card. This wasn't just Spirit being funny, although they might have been a little bit tongue-in-cheek about it. The Knight of Pentacles is here with a specific message for you, and it might be related to the Eight of Cups if you've been making lifestyle changes, particularly if you've been making lifestyle changes related to spirituality, and deepening your spiritual practice, because the Eight of Cups talks about walking away from things that no longer serve us, whether that's people, relationships, or habits, and patterns of behavior, or like it can talk about like making lifestyle changes that are more in alignment with who we are, and that it's okay to be sad about letting go of people or walking away from whatever was in that last part of our life. However, we're doing that for our own well-being. And the Knight of Pentacles carries a message about prioritizing our well-being. It's like finding a balance between taking care of our responsibilities on a day-to-day basis. Like there's a card about self-care, and it's about like having a healthy routine, whatever that means for you. It's like working on our sleep schedule, working on eating nutritious food at regular times. It can work on incorporating exercise, whatever that means, whatever works for you and your body, into your daily routine, or your weekly routine, whatever. But it's like working that stuff into our routine, and it's like finding a balance between the practical side of taking care of our responsibilities, doing chores, running errands, that kind of thing, and obviously working like showing up for our job and stuff like that, with our well-being and our sense of happiness. And the Knight of Pentacles being here is telling me that it might be related to this Eight of Cups if you had bad habits that you were releasing. It's also talking to me that like embracing your spirituality and cultivating your spiritual practice might have helped you really regain a sense of like healthy self-care, a healthy routine, and taking things literally day by day. It's like about showing up every single day, doing whatever work we can do towards our goal that day, and finding a healthy balance between taking care of ourselves and having fun, like cultivating happiness, cultivating joy, and a really positive sense of well-being. And if that's something that you have been working on, then this is definitely Spirit's way of saying like give yourself a huge pat on the back. We are so proud of you that you've shown up for yourself every day and put the work in, and this is what's coming in for you as a result of being in this energy of, I'm going to let go of things that no longer serve me. I'm going to focus on things that are in alignment with my energy, and I'm going to focus on taking care of myself and showing up for myself every single day, day by day, whatever way I can, with a practical sort of attitude. That's the energy of the Knight of Pentacles, is moving forward, making progress methodically every day, and taking care of ourselves in every sense of that word, like every sense of whatever self-care means. So I think that this is great. This is this whole reading, the energy here is amazing. Like I really connect with this. And again, like I just think this is Spirit's way of saying like you're killing it. You know? You're doing fantastic. Your spirit guides are so proud of you. You're being divinely guided. You're being divinely supported. Your spirit guides are always with you. Whether you're actively working with them or not, they're always with you. And they love connecting with you, and they love this work you've been doing. It's fantastic. And you're either already enjoying this, and Spirit's like enjoy it, you've earned it, and or it is coming in for you very, very, very soon. So I want to say, like, that's what I'm seeing in the tarot cards. It's a beautiful reading, and you know, I also want to say kudos, because this work is not easy, and it seems like you're really embracing it and really like stepping into your high priestess energy. And I think that's really cool. You know, a lot of people don't go down that road, or you know, they get caught up by obstacles and stuff. But I think by embracing the energy of the Eight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, like you've really managed to achieve a lot here on a spiritual level, which is just fantastic. So I want to say that. And then I'm going to move into the Oracle cards. And I'm going to start with the Earth Pulsing card. It says, Pulse of the Mother, slow down, time in nature. And the slow down energy, I would say, is definitely connected with the Four of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. If something that maybe you needed to release in the Eight of Cups is a tendency to want to rush forward into the next thing, then I would take that as confirmation from Spirit that is in alignment with your spiritual path, so slowing down, taking time. And then it says time in nature, and I would connect that, you know, again with the Four of Wands, like your spirit guides want you to take time, focus on mindfulness, and this turtle is kind of like laying down in the grass. That's how I would interpret that card. And then I think it's also connected with the Knight of Pentacles, because Pentacles is associated with the material world, which includes like the physical world, and, you know, being outside in nature and that sort of thing. And if this is advice from Spirit, like I could interpret this two ways, and both of them might apply. I think this might be Spirit's way of saying that you are already very connected with nature, in which case this is just, you know, I would just take that as a confirmation that you can connect to the divine through your connection with nature. You might be very naturally connected to nature. You know what I mean. Or if you feel like you have not lately been giving yourself time to feel connected with nature, that might be something that Spirit is encouraging you to do, that might help you feel grounded, especially if when this Four of Wands, Nine of Cups comes in, if this is a little bit overwhelming, or it might be, you know, like seem to like it's moving fast, or like there might be a lot happening at once. It could be that this Four of Wands and Nine of Cups represent like multiple different areas of your life. Like your manifestations might come in all at once, and it's like this beautiful Four of Wands energy. However, I could see that maybe becoming a little bit overwhelming, in which case there's a figure lying down in like a meadow here, and there's a turtle lying down over there. I think you're being encouraged to slow down. If you need to, literally like lie down in the grass. And what I'm seeing is somebody either reclining and just imagining yourself like growing roots and trying to connect with the earth that way, and just like take whatever time you need to do that, wherever you are, if that's a possibility for you, wherever you are in the world, or in the lotus pose, which is something that I'm seeing on the Eight of Cups. You might already meditate. You might meditate in the lotus pose. And something that I do that I'm sure other people do as well. It's called the lotus pose for a reason. But I think something that I do is I imagine, you know, roots coming down from my root chakra. And then my hands are open and I imagine balls of light in both of my hands, like flowing in and out from my heart chakra. And then I imagine a big flower on top of my head, like the open petals of a flower with my crown chakra. And then I just try to visualize the energy flowing from the root to the crown and back again. That might be something that you are also being encouraged to do, especially if like literally getting out and going into nature is not something that's necessarily possible for you right now. I know it is winter in a lot of the world, and at least at the time of posting this, and that some people live in like the concrete jungle of the city, and it's not always easy to just get out into nature. And when you do, it's not always like a place where people might feel comfortable just lying down in the grass. It could be like a really crowded park or nature area. So just whatever you can do to try to feel more connected. Something that I've also done that has worked for me is if I have a wood floor in my apartment, and I'm like, if I can't go outside and touch a tree, I can at the very least connect to something that is made out of wood, and it's not necessarily the same thing, but it's like just cultivating a connection wherever you can, just do your best, however that means for you. And then sometimes I find like flowing water, like a bath or a shower, can sometimes help as well. And I can just close my eyes and imagine that I'm in a natural body of water. And sometimes that helps me feel more connected with nature as well, when literally connecting with nature is not something that is possible in that moment. So I wanted to say that as some messages from the Earth Pulsing card. If none of that is resonating for you, this might just be saying that you just have an innate connection with nature. And it could also be the slow down message. If you find that when this comes in, if it's overwhelming, you might be being asked to embrace the Knight of Pentacles one day at a time kind of message, and just try to ground yourself as much as you can. So that said, I'm going to move into the Spirit Animal Oracle cards. And I'm going to start with the Scarab Beetle Spirit. I love this card. It hasn't come out in a reading yet for me. This is the first time that I'm seeing it. And it says, magic works through you. And honestly, when these cards came out together and when they came out, I was like, yeah, that vibes with what I'm seeing in the rest of the cards here for a very spiritually connected pile. With magic works through you, this card does talk specifically about creativity. So if whatever you're working on or doing, like even as a hobby or like a side thing, is creative in nature, this is confirmation that your creativity and like your creative gifts are divinely, like a divine gift, to put it that way. Like it's being, you are being. This is confirmation that whatever you're creating, you are co-creating with spirit. That's what I'm trying to say. I couldn't figure out how to get that message out. So like even if that's literally being like doing something creative in terms of like artistic expression or content creation or anything where you're practicing creativity, this is confirmation that spirit is working with you when you're in a creative energy. And if you are not creative at all and that doesn't resonate with you at all, this is also a message that when you work on manifestation, your spirit guides are right there with you, co-creating with you. Like you have a direct line to spirit, which we have the High Priestess here. This is confirmation you are very spiritually connected, whether you realize it or not. You have a direct line to spirit, and when you exercise your creativity, whether that is in a literal sense or whether that is in the sense of a manifestation, whatever manifestation work you're doing, again, consciously or unconsciously, your spirit guides in the universe are right there co-creating with you. The magic works through you, and you have an innate ability to channel creativity and creative energy that is a gift from spirit. That is what this card is saying. And if you are experiencing self-doubt at any point in the process, this is Spirit's way of giving you a direct message that there is nothing to worry about because your creative gifts are being supported by Spirit. If you are waiting for your manifestation, if you're feeling like it's delayed, you don't know where it is, if this has not come in for you yet, every message I'm getting from this reading is it's right around the corner. There's nothing to worry about. all of the work you're doing is bringing it in at a breakneck pace. We have 2 new moons here. You are so spiritually connected. Your spirit guides are with you all the time. Even if it's a little bit delayed, even if it doesn't come in tomorrow or next month, in terms of like a spiritual timeline, it is right around the corner because you've been working so hard on it and you have direct line to spirit. So I want to say that there's nothing to worry about. Like, all the messages here are so beautiful for you today. And I want to say I was taking reversals. I'm prepared to give whatever messages spirit has for you, and they're all positive, beautiful messages for you, Pile 2. So I want to say that. Then we have the Whale Spirit, Trust the Great Mystery. And this card talks about acceptance. And I do feel compelled. I don't always talk about the numbers on the cards in terms of numerology, because some of them I feel like they are relevant, some of them maybe not so much. I don't know, but I am feeling compelled. 65 reduces to 11, which is a master number. 11 reduces to 2, which is on the High Priestess. So you might be a life path 11, or 11 over 2, because 11 does reduce to 2, but 11 is a master number. So take that however it resonates. That might not resonate for you, but I've felt compelled to say it. And then we have the 52, which reduces to 7, which is a number connected to spirituality, spiritual pursuits, intellectual curiosity, and learning, and that sort of thing. So I wanted to say that. The Whale Spirit, Trust the Great Mystery, is confirmation. Again, with the message I was giving, that if you feel like things have been delayed, trust the Great Mystery is just, it's confirmation that things are coming in divine timing. That whatever is coming, like intended for you, whatever manifestations you're working on are going to come in. Spirit has heard you, your spirit guides are with you, and things are going to happen when they're meant to. And it's saying just have faith, trust the Great Mystery, and it's about acceptance. This card is about acceptance. Accepting that things happen in divine timing. They happen like on the universe's schedule, and that we can't know everything on an intellectual level. And so this card is also just another confirmation that you have such a connection to spirit, because it's like saying, because I know and understand that I cannot know and understand everything on an intellectual level, I will trust my intuition. There are some things that need to be taken on faith because we can't know everything. There is a great mystery to the universe. And so that's the message of the card, is to have faith and trust, and to know that even though we don't know everything, we can know some things. And it's important in situations where, you know, our intellectual mind can't help us. We are still connected with the universe, we're still connected with spirit, and we can still rely on our connection with spirit and our own intuition to try to feel our way forward as much as we can. So I love that. I love the energy of this card. And there's lots of animals here, but I am being particularly drawn to the whale on this card as a message that whales might be like a spiritual animal for you or a spiritual messenger for you. Just take that however it resonates. But I am getting an intuitive message that, like, maybe for some of you, when you see a whale, that might be like a sign from spirit that they're with you. So just take that however it resonates. And then we have the Moonology cards, which again, like, it's not, I asked for advice, and it's like reassurance instead. that's how I interpret these cards. Luck is on your side with the new moon in Sagittarius. This could also be saying, if you're, you know, in combination with the scarab beetle, if you are trying to manifest something, if whatever it is, and there's like an element of like a leap of faith that you need to make, this I would take as reassurance that it's gonna end at the 4 of Wands and then the 9 of Cups. That's it. It's gonna work out in your favor, and you're being encouraged to take the shot, you know, with the bow and arrow on this, because luck is on your side. I think that it's a chance you might be inherently lucky. However, also the universe is working with you to make sure that the things that you're working on are going to come in for you. So it's okay to be nervous about taking a chance on things. However, this is a message specifically, it's going to work out. Whatever you're working on, it's going to work out because luck is on your side, and you have this new cycle coming in. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat eating. And And then with prosperity lies ahead, the new moon in Taurus, I did say my viewfinder has been really focusing on this bull here. And so I think this is an important message, is it's just reassurance. Prosperity lies ahead. It's very connected with the Four of Wands and the Nine of Cups. And with the new moon in Taurus, I would say like it's echoing that energy of the Knight of Pentacles, because we have that like practical, hardworking Taurian energy of like one day at a time of the Knight of Pentacles. Like again, I would associate that as like, this is coming in for you because you've been doing this. Prosperity lies ahead for you because you've been embracing the energy of Taurus to move forward and release whatever you've needed to release. And because you're doing this spiritual work, this stuff is ready to come in for you very soon. Or if you are already, if you've already had your wish fulfillment, or even partially, whatever this represents for you, if you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's already happened, then you're just being encouraged to enjoy it because you've earned it. Otherwise, it is right around the corner, and there's nothing to worry about. I'm not seeing any red flags, any obstacles in the cards here for you today, pile 2. So I want to say I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it has been helpful for you. If you did like it, please feel free to give the video a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how and if it did resonate for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. In today's video we are asking Spirit about any messages or advice they have for you. And if you chose the Knight of Swords, then this will be your reading. I want to say every pile so far has had a very distinct energy, and with you guys, I'm going to say that the energy here is heavy. I'm feeling very heavy, especially in my chest, my heart area. We do have a lot of like green here. There might be something with like the middle chakras at the heart and the solar plexus, maybe a little bit of sacral that's going on for you right now. Either way, the general overview of what I'm seeing is, first of all, we have a 5-card spread and we have 4 major arcana. So it seems like you're going through like a major thing right now. Like it's like what I'm seeing is the wheel on the Wheel of Fortune. This is in reverse. And it's turning and then it's turning back, and I'm kind of seeing that because we have the 18 on the moon, which reduces to 9, right? So we have the 9, a 10, a 9, and a 10, and so it's trying to move forward and it's stuck. There's a little bit of stuckness here. And it's like you're very close to, or like right at, especially that's another message of the Ten of Swords, you're very close to or right at the end of a cycle. We have 2 full moons here, and it's also being confirmed by the New Earth card. The message here is you may be feeling very stuck. You might be dealing with maybe like the emotional fallout from something major that happened. There might have been some deception or some illusion that you might have been like suddenly revealed to you, and it might have been very shocking, and you might be dealing with like the fallout of a reversed moon. It might feel like you're not moving forward. You might have really been isolating a lot and just spending a lot of time alone to just kind of deal with things, and it could have been that if there was a betrayal involved or a deceit involved, it's just like you were pulling your energy back because someone might have hurt you, if that is resonating for you. The message here with the Hanged Man upright and the Ten of Swords and the other cards here is you are very close to ending this cycle. Spirit wants you to reframe what's happening here as an opportunity. Even though it's a little bit stuck, it's not going to stay stuck forever. Spirit doesn't want you to do anything brash right now. They wanted you to take this time as an opportunity to work on healing and releasing whatever needs to be healed or released. It might be related to your heart chakra. It could be related to the solar plexus in terms of like self-will, determination, action, self-esteem. It might be related to the sacral in terms of like creativity and our emotions. It could all be kind of tied up together because those are like the main colors that I'm seeing here. And this is a message from Spirit that you're almost at the end of the cycle, to keep going. You know, this is an opportunity to release whatever you need to release. Ten of Swords is a good card to have at the end of your reading here, even though this is a heavy energy. It's an opportunity to let go of what needs to be let go of, process what happened here, like really process it, so that you don't end up bringing it into the cycle that's going to happen once you get out of this energy. So that's what I'm seeing right off the bat. If none of that applies to you and you have no idea what I'm talking about and this isn't resonating for you, I would suggest that maybe this isn't the pile for you. I will say piles 1 and 2 were very different. So if you're not resonating with what I'm saying, this might not be the pile for you. If you are resonating with what I'm saying, then the message here from Spirit is largely positive, even though you might be going through a bit of a tough time right now. So they want to acknowledge that what you've been through has been hard and painful. However, there is like it's not a blessing in disguise, because that can be invalidating, because the end of this cycle here seems like it's been very hard and painful. However, there is a hidden blessing in it. There was a blessing in it, even though it might be hard to hear that, because I don't want to invalidate how difficult and painful it's been. There is something there that's valuable, and Spirit wants you to take the time to find what that thing is. So I'm going to kind of explain what I mean when I get into the cards here. So I also, just off the top, I think it's important that the first 3 cards are reversed, but these 2 cards are upright. So it seems like if this Wheel of Fortune is upside down right now, you're gonna turn it upright. You're like, it is turning. There might have been some back and forth motion, but it's turning, and we're heading into an upright energy. And again, the Ten of Swords is a good card to have at the end of a heavy spread, because it means that you're going to be leaving this cycle. And this is an opportunity, like a learning opportunity. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. I feel like I'm rambling and repeating myself. So hopefully I'm able to get the messages across clearly. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was when I was trying to tap into the energy of this pile and trying to connect with your spirit guides, I wasn't feeling like I was getting a strong connection. And I just it took me a while to even start pulling cards, because I didn't necessarily feel as connected to the energy as I normally do when I start pulling the cards. And then the first card out was the Moon reversed, and no other cards wanted to come out. I was pulling cards for a while, shuffling the cards for a while, and nothing else was coming out, and it was just the Moon in reverse. And it was almost like Spirit shutting a door on me. Like, the Moon in reverse is like, we're not going to tell you anything. No. So that might be something that happened, because they are very protective of you and your energy right now, possibly because you're going through this heaviness, whatever this is. They might want you just to focus on yourself and your thought patterns and processing what happened here. So they might be very protective of your energy, and that might be why it took a while for the rest of the spread to come out here. Once it did, I have a narrative here, and it would make sense. If your spirit guides are protecting you, they don't just want anybody like coming in and trying to take your energy. And what was interesting is another message of the Moon card when it's in reverse. It's not necessarily like a traditional interpretation of this card, but it was an intuitive thing that I was feeling when I pulled it out, is that you might have had or still have somebody who is energetically connected with you who is trying to harm you. There might be a malicious energy that is attached to your energy. It might be something that you have managed to detach from. In which case, kudos. But there might still be an attachment there, and Spirit might not want you to move forward into the next cycle until you can detach that from your energy. Just take that over. It resonates. That I think would be combined maybe with this armadillo spirit, with the set healthy boundaries. If there is somebody in your life who does not have your best interests at heart, they might be deceitful. They might be actively working against you in some way, and they might have like self-interest in, like, be invested in you not going through spiritual growth. That might benefit them. Like, you not doing the work to grow and evolve might benefit this person, and so they might be working behind the scenes, whatever that means. Like, it might even be as something like a psychic attack. It might be something like trying to sabotage you in some way. There might be emotional abuse. There might, like, however that applies. This could be one of the messages of the moon in reverse. It might not be. Only take it if it resonates. But the moon, when it's upright, talks about illusions and things that are not real. Like you can talk about positive things, like, you know, dreams and fantasies, and you know, and that's not necessarily a negative thing. When it's in reverse, it usually does have like a negative message, because it can talk about not seeing things clearly, and there's also a message about self-sabotage, about I'm not seeing things clearly and I'm in denial. I don't want to see things clearly, and that it can be like in a self-destructive way. And so that might have been something that you might have been engaging in if you've been in like a really isolated place for a while, and especially with the Wheel of Fortune reverse, if you feel like you've just had a rotten luck, like nothing's going your way, why did this happen, like your life's taken a real downturn in some way, and it just, you know, if you've been feeling like that, which I could understand with all this heavy energy here, especially if somebody has betrayed you or deceived you in some way. The moon can also talk about deception. I could understand feeling those feelings. But however the moon reverse applies to you, sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself. I just was thinking with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it could also be if you're resonating with the message about denial, or maybe some self-sabotage, or maybe some like avoiding having to look at the truth of something, avoiding having to deal with stuff, there might be a message with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse of guilt, shame, or unworthiness. You might think this Wheel of Fortune is in reverse because it's your fault. And that's something that's coming in as an intuitive message, and it might also be tied to the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough, which is advice directly from your spirit guides for you, because you are good enough. You deserve to be and to have relationships in your life, whether they're romantic or platonic or familial, however that applies. You deserve to be in relationships where people are respecting your boundaries. So it's like a combination of the set healthy boundaries, because you are good enough and you deserve it. And that might be part of this lesson that Spirit really, really, really wants you to really internalize before you close out this cycle and move on to whatever is next, because it's coming. This is reassurance. A new Earth card is reassurance from your spirit guides. A new cycle is coming. You're not going to be stuck here forever. That's another message of the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It might feel like a downturn. It might feel like you've been really unlucky, and like you're not moving forward, or it might have felt like backsliding, or like things are just like push-pull right now. But one of the messages of this card is the phrase, "This too shall pass." Nothing lasts forever. And you might be in a downturn right now, or have recently gone through a downturn in terms of, or it might have seemed that way at least. The wheel will never truly stop turning. And you will get to the next cycle. You will. It's temporary. What you're going through right now is temporary. It's not going to last forever. The new cycle will come in. But Spirit's saying there's important lessons here that they want you to learn before you move into the next phase, and they probably have to do with setting healthy boundaries, and with the seahorse spirit working on detachment. And I'll talk about that when I get there, but that's one of the major messages of the seahorse spirit as well. Then we have the Hermit in reverse, and this card can talk about hermit mode, which when it's upright is not a bad thing. You know, it's about taking time to do self-reflection, time away from other people to be in our own energy, figure out what we want and what we need. And then usually there is a message with this card about, because we've done soul searching and we've reached a certain level of insight, being able to guide other people. So it's usually a pretty positive message, however it is in reverse. And when it's in reverse, it can say, we've been isolating for too long. You might have, after whatever happened with the moon reverse and these feelings of loss or stagnancy or whatever is going on with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, just feeling really like unlucky, you know, like why me, why did this happen? You know, it could have been that several things happened all at once. It could have been, you could have gone through some sort of tower moment where things just kind of like crumbled from under you. There might have been like a deception that was revealed to you. However this applies, that might have caused you, like this hermit crab, to go into your shell. And when this card comes out reverse, it comes with a very specific message from Spirit that they really want you to come out of your shell, and to try to reconnect with somebody. Because you've been isolating for so long that I think they're saying you might be keeping yourself stuck because you're too isolated, if that makes sense. And it could be that once you emerge from your shell, the message from the cards is once you do that, you're going to be able, in a releasing energy, right? But I think Spirit wants you to emerge from the shell first, and that can, you know, even if you don't have like a huge friends group, it could have been the friends group that was the problem. You know, however this applies, there might be somebody, even just one person in your life who makes you feel good when you spend time with them. There might be somebody who's more of a casual acquaintance that you can just go out and do like a social plan with. And there might be loved ones in your life who miss you and want to see you and genuinely want to spend time with you. And it's like, you don't need to push yourself too far, you know? But I think Spirit's just encouraging you to take one step, make one plan, see one person, reach out to somebody, call somebody, and just allow yourself to be like, first of all, to have fun, and then also to be vulnerable. If you're going through a hard time, if you are still processing things, it is okay to open up to certain people about it. And this might be just something you might not even have realized that you were doing. Was just maybe kind of curling inward on yourself because of whatever happened here. Spirit's encouraging you to emerge from the shell, because there are people who love you and who care about you, and they're saying you are going to feel better when you stop being so isolated and start to connect with people again. It's going to make you feel better. So that's the message of when the Hermit card comes out in reverse. It's just encouragement from Spirit to try to connect with people again, whatever that means for you. You know, however your social group is. You know, even if you only have one person, and if you don't have anybody in your life, if you feel like they're, you know, that if this involved your whole social group and you feel isolated because you are isolated, there might be an online group. There might be like a support forum. Like there's plenty of free spaces on the internet where people can share stories and to get some feedback or advice, or just get stuff off of your chest. And connecting with other people, however you do that, is going to be positive, because at the very least it'll be like a release. It'll be like you don't have to hold everything inside. You can let go of some of it, and that hopefully will help you feel a little bit better, a little bit less heavy with all of the energy here. And then with the Hanged Man, I thought this was interesting when this came out. And I want to say the moon did come out first. It came out reversed, and the Spirit was being very tight-lipped, which I thought was interesting, because it is the moon reverse, about like just like not saying anything. We're not going to let you see anything. You know, if there's a barrier or a block or a veil there, right? But then when the Spirit did start talking to me, these three cards came out. And then I kept shuffling, and then it was the Ten of Swords at the end. And I thought that that's a beautiful card for this heavy energy. So we have the Hanged Man, and I think this card is very important because it's connected with the Seahorse spirit, which says watch and wait, and it carries a message about, you know, I was thinking, oh, this person might be stuck or stagnant. You know, they might need to like start taking steps forward, you know, I was expecting to see a card about forward momentum or taking a leap of faith or something like that. However, the message of the Hanged Man is pause and reflect. Take time. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You are doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. And whatever happened here that caused you to be in a isolated hermit mode for so long, I don't want to minimize it and how painful it might have been, but the message of this card is there's a lesson here. There's a reason that this happened. This card, it does talk about taking time to pause and reflect, and it talks about acceptance and surrender to the divine and to the divine plan and to the idea that no matter what happens, Spirit has a plan for you. Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. Just stay in your energy. So I think that it's interesting. We had the Hermit in reverse because the Hermit, when it's upright, can talk about sitting in your energy alone, right? But Spirit's specifically saying they don't want you to be alone anymore because that's not serving you anymore. They want you to emerge from your shell and try to connect with other people. However, they also don't want you, I think, to be pushing yourself to move forward into the next cycle before you're ready. I think that they want you to take time to process what happened here so that you can put it into a context that where you can take a lesson from it, provide some sort of meaning to this experience that's going to help you move into the next cycle. And with the cards here, I could say maybe one of the meanings or one of the lessons or one of the ways to put structure to this is related to healthy boundaries, not giving our energy to everybody, and needing to emotionally detach a little bit from whatever the situation was here and try to see things from a different perspective or a more neutral perspective. Because I can also see if this frog's up hanging in a tree, they're seeing things from a different perspective than they normally do. So I think that this is Spirit's way of saying whatever happened here, as terrible as it was, is an opportunity. It's a learning opportunity, and they want you to take the learning opportunity, even though it's been a very painful lesson to have to learn. But I think that's why it's a little stuck, because they want you to take the time to process what happened here and work on surrendering to the idea of divine timing, if that makes sense, if that resonates for you. And the intuitive message that's coming through strongly is related to something like what I was talking about, providing meaning for yourself. I'm seeing the book Man's Search for Meaning. I think it was written by a Holocaust survivor or somebody who interviewed Holocaust survivors, and the idea was, for some Holocaust survivors, they completely denounced God because they couldn't believe that a loving God would have allowed the Holocaust to happen. For others, they leaned into their religion and belief in God and faith in God, and provided a meaning to the experience for themselves. Obviously the Holocaust is on a different scale, but it is kind of maybe like a related message here. Like, I think the reason why my spirit guides were showing me that is you might have been feeling very unfortunate, very down, and with the Ten of Swords, there might have been depression. You might have gone through like a major depressive episode, but you might have just gone through a period where you were thinking, nothing's working out, nothing's ever going to work out for me. Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why can't I move forward from whatever happened here? And you're being asked to answer those questions for yourself, if that makes sense. Like, try to provide those answers for yourself, because there was a lesson. There's something here that Spirit wants you to process and learn from. So I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but that's why I'm saying it is I'm going through the cards and explaining, like, every card here I think is connected to that message. And then we have the Ten of Swords, which, as I said, I think is a positive card to have at the end of a heavy reading, because the Ten of Swords talks about being at the end. This is the end of the cycle. And yes, it's been a painful cycle. It is not easy to have 10 swords in your back. It's very painful. And it's, you know, with the moon in reverse, there might have been a betrayal involved. There might have been deception involved. You might not have known those 10 swords were coming. You might have been doing everything right. You might have been in a loving, beautiful, caring energy and just wanting the best for everybody. And it happened anyway, right? You got stabbed by 10 swords anyway. And so I absolutely want to validate if you're feeling like you needed to be in that hermit shell in order to protect yourself, in order to, you know, like I fully understand why you would have pulled all your energy in after whatever happened here. But the message of the 10 of Swords is it's the end. You've reached the end. There are no more swords after the 10. If whatever happened here was very bad, it is the worst that's going to happen in this cycle. And the flip side to this, if there's a silver lining to this card, not that I'm not saying that to invalidate the how difficult and painful this cycle might have been. If there's a silver lining to this card, it's that it is the end of the cycle, and it's an opportunity to learn the lessons and to let go of whatever emotional baggage, trauma, things that you need to heal. Like it's an opportunity to let go of what needs to be let go of. Try to work on healing the things that need to be healed, because we know that after the 10 is the ace. There's going to be a new cycle coming in where you will not have any more swords in your back, and you will have learned the lesson of whatever the cycle is, and you do not have to bring it with you. You can leave it there. You can pull those 10 swords out and leave them on the ground. So that's why I'm saying I think the basic message of the tarot cards is to give yourself the time to really process what happened, especially if it has to do with setting boundaries and working on emotional detachment or loving detachment from whatever happened, trying to see things from a different perspective, a less emotionally charged perspective, if that's possible. You know, just do your best, do whatever you can, because you're so close. And the Starseed card specifically carries that message. This card says a new earth. It says it's happening. Keep holding the vision. And with the keep holding the vision, I'm seeing a parallel with the Hanged Man. And the basic message of this card, because the Hanged Man's not moving, you know, they're where they are, right? The message here is to keep going, because the new earth is the new cycle, and it's going to happen. Like again, this is just, it's reassurance from Spirit. You are almost at the end of the cycle. You are very close, and once you do whatever releasing or emotional work or whatever Spirit is asking you to do to just be able to tie up whatever loose ends might be kind of holding this back for moving forward. Once you step out of your shell and work on like surrendering to the divine or providing meaning for yourself, whatever that means for you, trying to provide some sort of reason for yourself as to why this has, not for the other person, it's for you, so that you can try to heal whatever needs to be healed here. Spirit saying you have a beautiful new cycle coming in, and it's going to happen. And I did say, I think that it's interesting that these are reversed and then these are upright, because I'm seeing you're turning that wheel. You will turn that wheel by staying in whatever energy you're in, so that you can process it before moving forward, if that makes sense. I just feel like I'm rambling, but hopefully I'm making sense with what I'm saying, because I do. This is just reassurance from your spirit guides. You are not stuck. You are not stagnant. Things here have happened for a reason. Spirit has a divine plan. They're not going to hold this new cycle back from you. They just really want to make sure that you're going to take the opportunity here to practice setting healthy boundaries and work on detachment. So the Armadillo Spirit says set healthy boundaries. And I like starting over here with the Armadillo, because I think it's a great card. It does the basic message about setting boundaries with people, learning that it's okay to set boundaries, learning that no is a complete sentence. You do not need to justify why you're saying no. There's an acronym. that people use when dealing with narcissists. It's jade, and it's saying you don't have to I don't know how you would even put that in a phrase, but it's jade. The acronym is jade, and it's justify, argue, defend, explain. That's what you do not need to do. You don't need to justify, you don't need to argue with anyone, you don't need to defend yourself, you don't need to explain yourself. You can just be you in your energy, and that is perfect, and that is exactly what Spirit wants. And part of that is going to be learning how to set healthy boundaries, that it's okay to set healthy boundaries. And a healthy boundary is a boundary that you put in place for yourself so that you can feel safe. And that might be like what you're learning with whatever happened here. And that's why I was mentioning with you are good enough. There might be self-esteem stuff that needs to be healed here. This also the color of the solar plexus, which deals with self-esteem. The affirmations might be really a good idea, just standing in the mirror and saying affirmations. I know I have done that, and I was so surprised by how effective it has been for me and for working on my own self-esteem, because I felt really silly doing that the first few times I did it, and now it's like whenever I pass a mirror, I like shoot myself some finger guns and say, hey, you're looking good, and it's just, and I believe it, whereas, I this time last year, I absolutely didn't believe that, so, and it was based on doing affirmations in the mirror. So that might be something that might be helpful for you. There might be self-esteem stuff with the you are good enough card. There might be worthiness, issues that might have prevented you from setting or enforcing your boundaries before. And the lesson here is just that you deserve to feel safe. And that might have been why you kind of went into your hermit mode, because that was, you didn't feel safe. The message here, you are safe, you deserve to feel safe, and it's up to you to work on setting and enforcing the boundaries that are going to continue to help you to feel safe when you move forward into the next cycle. And then we have the Seahorse Spirit, which says watch and wait. And there's kind of like a twofold message with this card, but it's pretty related. And again, watch and wait, definitely related with the Hanged Man energy. And something I forgot to say, the Hanged Man is also about like not forcing things. So if this wheel is not ready to move forward yet, if this cycle's not quite closed yet, again, it's like being in an energy of acceptance, that like this cycle just hasn't ended yet. And so I wanted to say that the Seahorse Spirit with watch and wait, it talks about seeing things from like pulling back, stepping back, and trying to see things from a more neutral perspective. If whatever happened here was so painful and emotionally charged that it forced you to go into a hermit mode and really isolate and protect yourself with that hard shell, and it had to do with a very painful Ten of Swords ending of something, and it might be dealing with your self-esteem, I could see there being a lot of emotions involved in that. And I think the message of this card is to just try as much as you can to take a step back and try to see maybe like again, it is connected with the Hangman, of try to see like a bigger picture, a bigger perspective as to what happened here as much as you can. We have the Moon reverse, and that talks about like an illusion times 10, like things could still be very confusing, and there might be if what I was saying about providing meaning for yourself is not resonating for you, or if you think like whatever happened didn't have a meaning. Sometimes there's things that happen for no good reason, like people just have bad luck, or like it's people do. I don't want to swear. People do bad things sometimes with no provocation. Like it's not, So I don't want you to think that you have to find a reason for why this happened. What I'm trying to say is, even just saying the fact that this happened is an opportunity for me to learn something. That's kind of what I'm saying. So I don't want you to feel pressured that you have to apply logic or reasoning to something that might be totally illogical. So I want to be clear about that. But yeah, the Seahorse Spirit is just saying to try and see things from a broader perspective, and from the, there's a spirituality message connected with that. Trying to, your spirit guides have a plan. There's a new cycle coming in. They just want to make sure you're kind of squeezing all the juice out of this painful life lesson as you can before moving on to the next thing. And then this also carries a message like connected with that. stepping back and taking a perspective of trying to detach emotionally. And I would connect, if we're talking about setting healthy boundaries, I would connect that with the concept of loving detachment, which often comes up, boundaries might have to do with codependency or enmeshment, if that applies to your situation. And loving detachment can be saying, like, I don't want to cut this person out of my life. They might be a parent, or they might be, somebody that you care deeply for, or you did care deeply for. Loving detachment can be like, I love you and I want to keep you in my life, but I'm going to put you on an information diet. And maybe not like saying that out loud. You don't need to tell the person that. And in fact, I would advise you not to. But to just like, again, it's a boundary of like, I don't want to talk about that with you, or I'm not going to engage with that, or just not offering or volunteering information. You know what I mean? And to just try to detach as much as you can in a loving way, like understanding, you can still love somebody and detach yourself from them emotionally. What I also just realized is, if we're talking about detachment, actually I might have said this, but I can't remember. If we're talking about detachment, and I was also talking about somebody might have bad intentions, whose energy might still be attached to you, even if you haven't spoken to them in a while, who might just be like, there might be a spiritual attachment, which might be one of the reasons why your spirit guides didn't want to talk to me at the beginning of the reading. They might be asking you to work on like cord cutting or energy releasing, or asking your spirit guides for help. And if somebody is attached to you, like, I think you would probably know who the person was. And they're probably related to whatever happened here. But if you know who they are, maybe doing a cord cutting ceremony. If you're not 100% sure, maybe just asking spirit to help you detach anybody's energy who might be attached to you. So I don't know if that's helpful, but that was something that just kind of occurred to me when I was talking about detachment. It might mean like energetically, spiritually, and emotionally. So I think that is why we have the seahorse spirit here. I also want to say I just got an intuitive message. This might be, in the next cycle, you're dealing with a lot right now. And I'm getting the idea that your spirit guides just want you to focus on yourself right now. But if you have, if you have been looking for a romantic relationship, or if you're single and that is something that you want for the future, I do want to mention that seahorses, I think they mate for life. So there's a seahorse on this card. Might be like a subtle nod from spirit, that might be something that might be part of the new cycle once we learn the lessons here and close out the old cycle. And that one of the reasons, if you are not currently in a healthy, loving relationship, might be because spirit wanted you to learn about boundaries before that relationship came in. So that's what I'm seeing with the spirit animal cards. And then I did already talk about the full moon in Virgo, which says you are good enough. I think that's related to self-esteem. It might be a good idea to work on affirmations and work on feelings of your own worthiness. Because, again, whatever happened here could have caused you to doubt that you deserve to have good things. And that's not true. You do deserve it. You are good enough. You deserve to have a healthy relationship with strong boundaries, and whether that means a romantic relationship or if you're dealing with like family of origin issues, it's not, you can't just go out and get a new parent, but you do deserve to have relationships in your life where you are being respected, and people are recognizing that you are worthy. Anybody who can't match that energy is not worth your time. And it's like, you also deserve to have healthy boundaries. So if there's some self-esteem, some solar plexus work that might need to be done here, I think that your spirit guides are encouraging you to work on that. And then we have the full moon in Aries, which says a fiery climax approaches. This card, when it came out, I was a little bit confused about it. I'm thinking it might be related to what we're talking about here in terms of releasing and moving on. If there is somebody who is attached to your energy and is trying to sabotage you, if there is somebody who has not been respecting your boundaries, or who is like narcissistic or dealing with an addiction, or like just has some sort of toxic personality, toxic behaviors, who doesn't want you to grow and evolve and move on from them. They might try to sabotage you, and this might be what I'm seeing is they might come at you, and I don't want to say that to scare you. I just think that, you know, I know from my own experience that the people who benefited from us not having boundaries get very angry or upset or hurt, or like they sometimes lash out when we try to set a boundary with them. Again, because they benefited from our lack of boundaries. And they said sometimes they take it personally. Sometimes, you know, and no matter how many times you explain it, it doesn't matter, because it's an emotional reaction for them. And for some people don't have the capacity to have the insight to know why they're reacting badly to somebody setting a boundary with them. Other people are just malicious, and they are fully aware that they're trying to manipulate you. So again, you would know whatever resonates for you. This might be here because when you are stepping into an energy where you are setting boundaries and you are detaching from whatever this is here, people in your life might react badly to that. And so this might just be just a warning, just like a kind of an early warning system from Spirit saying they still think it's, and I still personally, this is my personal opinion, it's still really important to do it, even though it's very scary. It can be very scary, especially when you're just learning how to set boundaries and enforce them. It's still really important to do it. You do deserve it. I think that it might be a good idea to do to work on affirmations and self-esteem first. And like, especially feelings of worthiness. You do deserve to have strong and healthy boundaries, and to only share your energy with people who respect your boundaries. 100%. Like, that's not in question. If somebody comes at you because you're trying to set a boundary, they don't deserve to share your energy, but they might react badly to that. There might be an argument. There might be tears. I'm remembering it. In my own life, people were shouting and crying and making very dramatic statements. So, and I can laugh about it now because it's been so long, and I've worked on loving detachment. But at the time, it was very upsetting. So I just want you to be prepared, and that might be another reason, or like as prepared emotionally as you can be. That might be another reason why we have the Hermit in reverse here, is that Spirit wants you to reconnect with a support group, any support group, anywhere. If that's a friend, if that's a family member that you trust, if it's an online support group, if you are in therapy, if you're seeing a therapist, they just want you to reach out to somebody so you have some sort of support group that's outside of yourself, so that if somebody reacts badly to you growing and evolving and moving on to the next cycle, you will be able to have a support network to lean on if that were to happen. So I know it's been a heavier reading today, pile 3. I do want to say there's lots of reassurance from Spirit here that you are on the right path. If that is something that you have been doubting with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, there's lots of reassurance. You are on the right path. There's a message of the Hanged Man. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Spirit doesn't want you to move forward just yet because you haven't quite closed out the end of this cycle here. And this is an opportunity to work on boundaries, setting healthy boundaries, work on self-esteem and worthiness, and to work on loving detachment and trying to see things from a higher perspective, with the knowledge that a new cycle is coming. You will not be stuck here forever. And so with that said, that is what I'm seeing in the cards for you today, pile 3. If you liked this video and it resonated for you, you can give it a like. If you would like to, I would love to hear in a comment down below how it resonated for you. And if you do like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching pile 3, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Knight of Cups, this will be your reading for today, and we are asking Spirit for any messages or advice that they have for you for today. I do want to say we had the Fool and the Ace of Pentacles come out for pile 1. So if you felt drawn to pile 1, there might be messages there for you. I do think that there was some similar energy there, so there could be messages for you there. And then we also had the Eight of Cups come out for pile 2. However, what I'm getting is, even though both pile 4 and pile 2 seem to be talking about somebody who is very spiritually connected, what I'm getting is, I think pile 2 is maybe a little bit more like further along in their spiritual journey and their spiritual development. I'm picking up for you pile 4, you might be more towards the beginning of a spiritual journey, but just take that however it resonates. If that is resonating for you, then I would say that this is probably your pile. If that's not resonating and you feel like you are very spiritually experienced, if you've spent a really long time cultivating a spiritual practice, then there might be messages for you in pile 2. So again, I just wanted to point that out at the top of the reading. I also want to say there is a bit of a through line today in between all 4 different piles, even though there have been distinct messages and distinct energies in every pile. It seems like the people who are watching this video are all going through, like, you're kind of like in transitional phases. So if there's a common theme in today's video, it seems to be how to handle and navigate being in either at the end of a cycle, the very beginning of a cycle, or the transitional stage in between cycles. And your reading today is no exception. So with that said, I am going to get into it. I think that if there's a major overall theme here, it is with the first 4 cards that came out. These all came out together, they all came out upright, and then we had the Two of Swords in reverse. So what I'm getting from that is you might be hesitating, you might be aware that there is some forward movement, some step through an open door, an opportunity to change, an opportunity to transform in some way, an opportunity to co-create with spirit and really embrace stepping into the next cycle or the next phase with a positive attitude. If there has been anything standing in the way of you moving forward like that, what I'm getting is it might have been your own fears or your own, maybe if you had limiting self-beliefs, that might be something that you have been working on with this Eight of Cups. And I want to say that the good news is here, Spirit's really encouraging you to take the leap, take the step forward, move through the portal. There's beautiful things on the other side. Spirit is with you, and they want you to dream big. And embrace the transformation, even though there are parts of transformation that are uncomfortable. Any kind of change can be uncomfortable. It is going to result in a beautiful new cycle in your life. There's rewards, there's beautiful things on the other side. Spirit is very ready to co-create with you. You have this beautiful magician energy here. Believe in the impossible, like this Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity for something beautiful. And with the message of the Two of Swords reverse, what I'm getting is, again, if there's been any blockage or delay in whatever's happening here, I'm getting that it has been coming from you. And that's not an admonishment, that's just an acknowledgement that, that it's okay and definitely very normal to feel scared about moving away from something that is familiar into something that is unfamiliar. It's like this, the fear of the unknown is like fully understandable and very normal to feel hesitant to step through a portal into something that we don't know what's on the other side, right? It's definitely a really common experience. And so I think this card here is just saying this might have been something that might have been, you might have been hesitating to step forward into the next part. However, when this card comes up, it also carries a message that energy is starting to shift. So this could be, an acknowledgement from Spirit that you might be like really getting ready to take steps through that portal into whatever's on the other side and whatever is in this next phase, next stage, next cycle that you're moving into. And I want to say, like, there's a lot of in like a numerological sense, there's lots of confirmations here that you're on the right path. that you are at the beginning of something new, that it is going to work out for you. Spirit is with you, and it is, if whatever you are moving into has to do with creating money, generating an income. If this Ace of Pentacles is related to work, career, a creative project, anything that is connected to earning your money, we have 17 reduces to 8. We have the 8 of Cups. 8 is a number that talks about financial success. So I wanted to say that. And then we have the 1 here. We have the Ace is 1. We have 11, which is a master number, which is made up of 2 1s. And then we have the 2. 11 reduces to 2. So it's like the 1 and 2, the beginning of something. The 0, 1, 2, you're on the right path. And then with the 11, I was getting, you might be a life path 11 or 11 over 2. Just take that if it resonates. That won't be for everybody. It might not resonate for everybody. But I did say 17 does reduce to 8. However, for me particularly, like me personally, 17 is a very spiritual number for me, because that's a number I gave to my spirit guides to show me when my spirit guides are with me, and the crow is a spiritual messenger. So, and it says co-create with spirit. So this is a message to me that your spirit guides really want to work with you, moving into this new phase in your life. The portal cards is confirmation. Spirit is with you, and everything is going to be fine, because when you move forward into the next phase, you will be swimming with the current of the universe, instead of resisting the current, which might have been something you might have been doing with that 2 of Swords reversed, just out of like fear of the unknown and honestly maybe some confusion about whether or not you should move forward. This is all confirmation here for me that yes, definitely your spirit guides want you to move forward. Take that leap of faith, have courage, and it's like with the Fool and the Magician as the first cards here. Believe in the universe, believe in yourself. It's like that duality. So I wanted to say that. And I will get into, that's just kind of the general overview of the cards that I'm seeing here, and then I'll get into it card by card. So I totally got off track with what I was saying about 17. I'm sorry. 17 also is, because it's a 1 and a 7, can talk about a new spirituality or a new way of looking at things, a new perspective, or taking a new interest in things such as spirituality or philosophical discussions or new ways of looking or thinking about things. So that might be an indication that, again, that you might be like a little bit newer to the world of spirituality. That might be something that you have just started, or even in like spiritual terms, time is not, like time is relative, right? And so in spiritual terms, like recently can mean like, as much as like a year, the past year. It can mean like just in the last few months, however that applies to you. And again, if you feel like this is not necessarily resonating with you and you feel like you are very spiritually evolved, very connected to spirit, you've been doing your spiritual, you don't feel like you've been hesitating to move forward into the next phase, then I would say that maybe pile 2 is more in alignment with the messages from spirit here today. So that's what I want to say about that. And then I'm going to start with the Fool. And what is very interesting is the Fool is there's the first card in the tarot. It's number 0, and the Magician is the second card in the tarot. It's number 1. So we have the first 2 cards in the tarot deck right here. It's like instantly a message to me. You're at the beginning of something, because this is the beginning of the tarot deck, and they're both major arcana, and they both carry a beautiful and similarly related message. And then obviously we have the Ace. It's a new beginning. It's a new opportunity, the start of something new. And then with all this transformation messages and the encouragement to move through a portal, I was like, definitely we're starting something here. We're at the beginning of something here. With the Fool card, there is an energy of kind of taking a leap of faith. And being supported. You are spiritually supported. It's the color of the third eye chakra. You might have been receiving signs and symbols and synchronicities from spirit. They are working with you. And again, the crow, a spiritual messenger. You might have been receiving signs and synchronicities that spirit is encouraging you to move forward into the next phase. And the energy of the Fool is a beautiful energy, because it's partly about needing to take like a leap of faith that whatever's on the other side of the portal is going to be better for you than whatever was on this side of the portal. Another message of the Eight of Cups, of walking away from things that are no longer in alignment with our energy or no longer serving us, even though that might be something that is sad and that we need to process the feelings about that. The Fool is somebody who has done that processing work and is ready to step forward into the next phase with just whatever they need. You know, as I like pointing out on this card, they're carrying like a bindle, and it has the important lessons that they've learned from the previous part of the cycle, but they're leaving everything else behind. They don't need to take anything else with them except the whatever lessons they've learned from the previous part of the cycle. There's no additional baggage, and it's just like it was sort of a carefree, unburdened, hopeful, positive, like an adventurous sort of spirit. Like I don't know what's on the other side of this portal, and I'm just gonna take what I need, and I'm gonna move forward anyway, even though I might be scared, even though I don't know what's on the other side. I'm gonna embrace it as an adventure, and I'm gonna have faith that the universe is supporting me, and there's a similar message with the Magician when it comes up in this type of reading, where, again, I was seeing kind of like a parallel. It's like this, having faith in the universe and having faith in yourself. The Magician, in like a spiritual reading, can talk about having faith in your own ability to manifest things that you want and to create the things, to create the sort of life that you want, and to create positive things in your life. Faith in your ability to move forward, faith in your ability to co-create with spirit. And so this card does really talk about believing in yourself. And because you believe in yourself, it's like that positive, attractive energy it's like this card is confirmation that because you believe in yourself, you are able to manifest. The Magician is a master manifester. It's like that beautiful, attractive energy of, I know this thing is coming in for me. I'm very grateful for it. I know the universe will provide. The abundant universe provides, is what I just heard. And it's like it's the faith of the Fool with the forward action oriented energy of the Magician. Of I was hearing something about for you guys specifically doing the 2-cup method of manifestation might be something that is very effective for you right now. Especially one of the messages of the Crow Spirit is that like now is the perfect time to work on manifestation work, because the universe is very excited to work with you and to co-create with this. It's co-create with spirit because spirit wants to co-create with you. And if you're in this Magician energy, then I would take these 2 cards like as confirmation, and especially the believe in the impossible with the blue moon. It's like just dream big and go for it, and like whatever manifestation, like it's like whatever manifestation just popped into your head when I said that, dream 10 times bigger than that, because spirit is so excited to work with you to bring in whatever you want. That's why I'm getting very excited as I'm talking, because this is like such an amazing energy, and just like this is a very abundant time for you in terms of whatever it is that you want to manifest. And again, I feel urged to reiterate this 0-1, the fact that these are the first 2 cards out of the deck. I would take that as a message that you are on the right path. This is the energy spirit wants you to be in, and even if you feel like you're not quite there yet, you will be. That's one of the messages here. Because what I'm seeing here is this energy, the 2 of Swords, kind of stuck, avoidant kind of energy here, is shifting. Is shifting and moving, and you're moving towards this energy, even if you feel like you are not quite there yet. If you are there, then that's fantastic. And again, it's just a message. Like Spirit is so excited to help you with your manifestations. Like your spirit guides love you, and they want the best for you, and they want you to want the best for yourself, and to take whatever steps you need to take in order to ensure that that those things come in for you. So I want to say that, like, the Magician, beautiful card, beautiful energy to have here in this reading. The Fool and the Magician is like chef's kiss, like, mwah, Just beautiful. And then we have the Eight of Cups. And as I was saying, this card does talk about walking away from things that no longer serve us. That's like the basic message of the Eight of Cups. And walking away from maybe old patterns, old routines, old feelings, and sometimes old people, maybe not like old people, but like previous relationships. And it can talk about like walking away from the familiar towards the unknown. And this card does carry, maybe not this one specifically in this deck. This looks like a kind of a more of a peaceful, happy energy. However, this card can talk about like spirit recognizing that it can be really difficult and it can be sad to leave behind things that are familiar, the things that are a part of who we used to be. And it could be that if you're doing spiritual work and you're moving away from this Two of Swords towards this Fool Magician energy, you're evolving on a spiritual level, embracing your spirituality, getting more into a spiritual practice, and starting to, like with the Magician, have more faith and more belief in yourself. And maybe, if that comes with like an increase in self-esteem, and whatever that means for you, that can mean that you might be evolving, your energy might be evolving, you might be reaching a higher vibrational level. And it could mean that things that were like a huge part of our life are no longer in alignment with our energy. They're no longer vibrating at our frequency. And it's hard, it can be painful to have to accept that, that there are certain things that are just no longer in alignment with who we are when we have evolved in a spiritual way. And so this card is like a recognition and acknowledgement of that. However, it's also, a recognition and acknowledgement that Spirit is proud of you for having the faith and courage to move forward and make those changes anyway. Despite how painful and sad it can be, and that it is okay to grieve the things that we have to leave behind in order to move forward, if that makes sense. Like it's an acknowledgement, and it's kind of like a bittersweet energy. It's like moving through the portal, going through a transformation. Having some new beginning might take us away from things that are familiar, and it's okay to be sad about that. Well, we're also in a joyful energy of forward momentum and having faith in ourselves and the universe, and knowing whatever's on the other side of that portal is going to be better for us, more in alignment than whatever it is that we're leaving behind, even though that thing might have been precious to us at one point, or just very familiar. It's hard to walk forward into the unknown. It's very hard to do that, and you're being encouraged to do it anyway, with courage and bravery. It's that message of bravery requires fear. If you don't experience fear, you're not really being brave. You're being I don't know. I don't even know how to express that. It's like, bravery is about facing your fear. It's about feeling the fear and doing the thing anyway, right? It's like if you're not incapable of experiencing fear, then you're just being reckless. You know what I mean? I hope I'm expressing that in a helpful way. But yeah, it's just, I think, like an acknowledgement from Spirit, if that's something that you have been feeling, and that might have been something that might have been holding you on this side of the portal, and being in this Two of Swords reversed energy. That might have been the needing, like knowing, and there might have been some resistance to that. There was stuff that you might have needed to let go of or walk away from in order to move forward in some way, maybe towards this Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles can talk about, it's the Ace, so something new, a new beginning, a new cycle, a new opportunity, and it's Pentacles, so it can talk about and be related to a career opportunity. It can talk about like when you've been offered a new job, or it can talk about when you have an idea for a creative project, or something that you're working on, something maybe like a side project. If it can talk about going back to school, it can talk about, about it's pentacles, so it can be related to something financial or career related, and it can also talk about, if that's not resonating for you, the Ace of Pentacles can also talk about choosing to invest our time and resources and energy into something new, whether that is related to a career or money decision or not, or just like making a change in terms of where we're putting our energy, what we're committing to. Pentacles is a suit of commitment. So, and with this card in this deck in particular, I think that there's, with the heart on the lizard's chest, there's a huge connection with the heart chakra here for me. And this card can also talk about like choosing to invest in yourself and self-care and putting yourself first. Because you know that you need to fill your cup first before you can fill anybody else's cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. So, and also that, self-care is not selfish. So, that's I think one of the messages here, if that's resonating for you. Again, it can talk about like a new career opportunity or whatever it is. The point is it's positive. It's usually a positive message when this card comes out upright. I would take this as encouragement from your spirit guides to go for it, whatever this new thing is in your life. And this can also just be a confirmation that you are starting a new cycle. It could be a new cycle where you are, prioritizing your own needs and advocating for yourself, and however that means for you, figuring out what it is you want so that you can work on manifesting that. And it could be the confirmation that you are entering a cycle of abundance. And that's another message. I think, I can't remember if it was the Crow Spirit or the Portal card. They have very similar messaging here. In fact, all of the Oracle cards I think are very related. But there's definitely a lot of messages about abundance. So if that is something that you have been maybe a little bit like hesitating to move forward because you're not sure whether this thing is going to work out or not, the message here from Spirit is you can have anything you want. It's about embracing your ability to have whatever outcome you want by co-creating with Spirit, by being in this very abundant, attractive energy, practicing an attitude of gratitude is what I just heard, and like an abundance mindset that can, you can have anything you want. That's a message of these cards here. And so this Ace of Pentacles is a very positive, beautiful message. If that is something that has been kind of holding you back, or if you've been hesitating or afraid that whatever you're investing in is not going to pay off, all the rest of the cards that we have here are telling me that it will. There's nothing to worry about, and it's about being in the right energy and and just having the right attitude, and just knowing that the universe wants to work with you, and you have the ability yourself to create whatever outcome you want. Again, like this Ace of Pentacles being here is a beautiful, very positive message. And I want to say, like, these four cards came out. They come out together. Like this, I think this is the what Spirit wants you to know. And then this might have been like an extra, this took a while to come out, and then it came out reversed. And this might have just been some extra context, maybe for me, about, if there has been a blockage or a delay here, you might just have been hesitating to step forward. But the message here from Spirit is, once you take that step, once you take that leap of faith, you have such beautiful things. You can do anything, which is it's amazing. That's a beautiful message. And then I did already address the Two of Swords reversed and why I think it's here. If that's resonating for you, if you have been feeling like you're maybe kind of hesitating to move towards something new, I mean, the Two of Swords reverse can carry a message about, it's like being very stagnant to the point where it's like, it's maybe creating problems. Like people might be and people might be just be your spirit guides, might be getting like frustrated that it's like, you know, we're giving you all the signs and symbols that you need, that it's time to move forward. Like I need you to make that choice to move forward. So it can talk about like that avoidance energy of like knowing that there's something spirit or the universe or you yourself, which is you want to do it on some level, and maybe holding yourself back or avoiding doing the thing, maybe because of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, whatever that means for you, or have a fear of having to let go of certain things. And if that's resonating for you, then I think the good news is this card being reversed also carries a message about this energy shifting. Like when this card comes out in a reading, it can say you're moving away from this into this, which is a beautiful message. You know, again, like I think that this is here as context for me, you know, about where, well, like maybe if this has been a little bit delayed, or maybe why we have the portal card here. And I do think I am going to talk about the portal card. I do think it's important. It says doors are opening. So doors of opportunity is what I'm hearing, and that, you know, the Ace of Pentacles, like there's an open doorway for you here. There's nothing physically blocking your path here. And then it says you decide, and I think that's very connected with the Two of Swords reversed, because nobody can force you to take those steps. You know, that's something and with the Magician energy here and the Fool energy here, it's like very much repeating that, like this door is wide open. There's beautiful stuff on the other side of this portal. We have the rewards. It's like this card's saying, like once you do that, there's a beautiful amount of abundance. Like even the act of choosing to move forward into the portal is going to create abundance for you, because it's a beautiful, attractive energy to put out into the universe of faith, of taking a leap of faith, of fearlessly moving forward, not fearlessly, but courageously moving forward, and embracing the butterfly spirit of transformation, even though it might be scary, it might be nerve-wracking, and it's hard to walk away from things that are no longer serving us, even when we know they're no longer serving us, just because it's hard to walk away sometimes, and that's okay, that's normal. So with the you decide, again, like I'm just hearing like and the Magician, it's like you have to be the one to take those steps forward. That's a decision that has to come from you. Nobody can force you, and nobody will force you, you know, and if you feel like you have been in the process, like if you're already in the butterfly spirit, if you are already in this energy and you have taken that step forward, then this, I think, would just be, you know, a kudos from your spirit guides that you had the courage to do that. You know, if they're celebrating that, and I would take this again as reassurance that this card does talk about a lot of abundance, and that's a message of the fact that we have this Ace of Pentacles here and believe in the impossible with the blue moon. So that's why I think it's really beautiful. Like when we have the portal card here, you know, and again, it's confirmation that this open door is an opportunity for you. And with this Ace of Pentacles, it's going to be a good, solid opportunity. And it's up to you what you decide to do. And because you can have and manifest anything that you want here. And so I know I did talk a lot about the crow spirit, which does say co-create with spirit. This, again, is like crows are a spiritual messenger. This is a very spiritual card, in my opinion. 17, again, is like a shorthand number for me with my spirit guides. So that's just an additional confirmation for me. And 17 is a number of the star card in the tarot deck as well, which talks about like hope and faith and healing and inspiration and our connection to spirit. So I just thought it's interesting that came out, because this is a direct message from your spirit guides that they really, really want to work with you, and it's very, very connected with that Magician energy. They love you being in this energy, and they're so excited to help whatever you're trying to manifest come into fruition. And that's again why I'm seeing specifically the 2-cup method. If you don't know how to do that, there's a tarot reader on YouTube she's one of my favorites. I love her you should go check out her channel if you don't know who she is, but her name is Lexi the Leo, and she has a spirituality playlist, and she has like a video on the 2-cup method, which I personally have used, and I have found it very effective. And I just love her. She's a great tarot reader. You should go check her out. And so that was a message that was coming through. That might be something that is very helpful, because you're in a specific energy right now that is very, I don't know if like auspicious is the right word. It's like perfect universal timing, very much in alignment. And look at that concept I was talking about of swimming with the current of the universe. It's like this is the right time. It's the perfect time to put your dreams and manifestations into the universe. Do whatever manifestation work you want to do about that. Spirit, and again, it's like Spirit is so happy to work with you. They want to communicate with you. And if you have just started to embrace your spirituality, and this is something that is new for you, then I would say like your spirit guides are just over the moon that this is something that you're exploring, because I feel like they've really wanted to work with you for a long time, and now that there might be like you might be deepening your connection with your spirit guides, and they're like fully here for that. They're very excited about that. So I think that's why, and this is again reassurance. You can have and create anything you want. Spirits here, like I'm seeing somebody hold their hand up to their ear, like we're listening, we're ready. So again, that's just like a beautiful message. It could also be that crows or ravens or birds of some type might be something that your spirit guides sends to you. Your spirit guides send to you as a message that they're there. That might be one of the signs. If you've been seeing a lot of birds, or particularly black birds like crows or ravens, that might be your spirit guides sending you a message that they're with you, and that they're listening, and they want to work with you, and that they love you. And so just take that however it resonates. And then we have the butterfly spirit, which says transformation is beautiful. And it's a beautiful card, and it has a beautiful energy and a beautiful message, and it is 11, which is a master number in numerology, and so it carries just a little bit more of like a spiritually charged energy that talks about things like balance and harmony, because it has the energy of the 2, but it's on like a different, like a master number level, if that makes sense. It could also be an angel number for you. You might be seeing a lot of 11, or 1111, or 111. We do have like a 1 and an ace here, that might be like an angel number or a synchronicity that you are seeing a lot, and I would take that as both confirmation Spirit is with you, and that you're on the right path, that your energy is in alignment with moving forward into this new phase. And so the message of the butterfly spirit is really just about embracing whatever transformation is happening here, and it's specifically about, with the Fool card and the Magician card here, and the smile on this lizard's face, it's about, even though we can recognize with the 8 of Cups here that transformation can be difficult, there are painful parts, there are uncomfortable parts, it can be very nerve-wracking to move forward into the unknown, it can be nerve-wracking to start something new when we don't know what the outcome is going to be, and to learn how to release the outcome, and to be in an energy where we're feeling joyful, and we're cultivating a joyful attitude, and choosing to see the forward journey as an adventure, is what embracing the butterfly spirit is all about. It's about recognizing that while transformation can be difficult, painful, and uncomfortable, it is also beautiful. And it's like this card just talks about trying to keep a positive attitude, and focus on the parts of the transformation process of starting something new, of moving forward in some way, that are beautiful, joyful, and happy. if that makes sense. Like it is about cultivating a positive attitude about the act of going through a transformation and trying to see the beautiful parts, even though there are parts that are, again, painful or uncomfortable. So again, I think that's it's a beautiful card with a beautiful message. And it's definitely very connected with this energy up here. And if you feel like you have been in that energy, then that's just, it's a kudos from spirit that, you know, that's a beautiful energy, and they love that, that you're in this energy here. If you feel like you're not quite there yet, then it might just be encouragement to, and I know this is frustrating to hear when you're in the Eight of Cups or the Two of Swords reversed, about like reframing or, and here you try to look on the bright side. You know, it's really about cultivating a positive attitude, and there's like not in the sense of necessarily like toxic positivity of like having to force a smile on your face when you feel really, really bad, and it's, you know, it's not about like being disingenuous. It's about whatever genuine, joyful, or happy feelings you can attribute to moving forward or entering a new cycle. Like whatever fun you can have stepping towards this portal, whatever positive thoughts that are genuine that you can find about moving forward in some way, the Spirit is asking you to take that and to focus on that. Instead of whatever fear you might be holding on to. Let's focus our thoughts and our intentions on the beautiful parts, this lovely energy that we can manifest whatever we want, that the outcome, that we know the universe has our back, and so we can release the outcome, while at the same time knowing that you know, we're going to get out of it what we put into it, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with these cards here. And then I want to talk about this card last, but we have the full moon in Leo, which says don't let pride get in your way. And I think that this might be connected with this Two of Swords reversed and the Eight of Cups. This might be referencing, again, if you've had some sort of hesitation, like what I'm seeing is, I think this is a message for me from your spirit guides that pride might have been part of what was blocking you from moving forward into the portal. The basic message is there's nothing in front of this person preventing them from moving forward except their own thoughts and beliefs. That's what I wanted to say. I kept forgetting. The Magician card can talk about examining our limiting self-beliefs, and that might be connected with why I thought that's what I wanted to say. I kept forgetting that these two energies might be connected. There might have been limiting self-beliefs, or it could have been a case where you might have gone through some sort of ego death, or that might be like a part of this process of moving through the portal. A part of this butterfly spirit transformation might have been going through some sort of ego death, and that might have been something that you might have been resisting, and that might be a reason why we have the Eight of Cups here. And it might have been difficult to admit or accept that there were things, or there are things in your life that are no longer in alignment with your energy because you've changed. If that makes sense. I think that is maybe one of the reasons why we have this full moon in Leo card here. And again, because it's a full moon, it's like this might be talking about the previous cycle, because this is a full moon, it's not a new moon. And it's like it's get in your way. What I'm seeing is like it's just getting in your own way. You know, might have been the part of that Two of Swords reversed of like being really stuck and stagnant and like avoiding moving forward in some way. So this might just be additional context. And then we have Believe in the Impossible with the blue moon. I love this card. I love that it has come out for you. I love it. These four cards here, I think, are and even the portal card, like such a beautiful positive message that Spirit wants to work with you. And again, when I was saying like whatever manifestations came into your head when I've been talking about you can manifest whatever you want, and that's like in all areas, career, relationship, having the lifestyle that you want, whatever achievements you want to achieve. It's like just take whatever you were thinking about and multiply it tenfold. because the universe is encouraging you to believe in the impossible. And it's, you know, when I was looking at this card, I heard dream big, and then I heard that line from the movie Inception where Tom Hardy says, we mustn't be afraid to dream a little bit bigger, darling. I can't do the accent, but that's what I was seeing and hearing. It's just like dream big and then dream bigger and then do the manifestation work. And again, that's why I'm repeating this message that you can do and have anything. This Ace of Pentacles can be the start of whatever you want it to be the start of. And that it's coming from you. That's going to come from you. And it's because Spirit is so excited to work with you. That those first steps, those initial steps towards and through this portal, that needs to come from you. It says you decide. There's rewards on the other side, and it's a wild card. The wild card and the blue moon, believe in the impossible. This is a beautiful, amazing, it's almost like right energy, right time. Your spirit guides are right there. They want you. Whatever you feel like you can't have for whatever reason, they're saying you can, and you can have 100 times more, bigger, better, whatever you want. So this is a beautiful message for you today, Pile 4. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. If you did like it, you can feel free to give it a like. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos, you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 4, and I do hope to see you in my next video.